Hello guys, good evening. We'll be starting in a couple of minutes. We'll be covering the return of income, the amendments. There are quite a number of amendments in this year. So just let me know if my audio, video, everything is fine. We are good to start. We'll start in a couple of minutes, we'll see. Just let me know if my audio video is fine so that we can continue. Because every day we are having some or other issues. Are we having anything like that today? I'll start in a minute. I'll just make one change. So we'll be starting, guys. I'm just checking all possible ways that our video should be as good as it should be. Okay, so I think we have got good number of viewers today. We are good to start. So at any point of time you feel that audio or video anything is not fine, just put me in the comment section because I'm not listening my own voice. Yeah. So just to recap what we have done, we have started with the PGBP, income from other source, capital gain, clubbing, chapter 6A deductions, TDS. So now we are about to start return of income. And this chapter is kind of a tricky chapter, to be honest. The thing is that you need to have kind of grip over different topics to get a grip on this chapter. So preferably this chapter should be left at the end. Once we complete all our 5 heads of income, chapter 6A deductions and clubbing and everything, then we have to come here, then only we can understand. Hopefully you have done the same thing, and that's how I structured my classes also. Started with the heads of income and then coming here. Let's start. So when we say we need to file return of income, that start with section 139, and the section 139 is a very elaborative section. It involves a lot of different scenarios, different possibilities. So everybody, for next 2 hours, I think we will be completing a chapter in couple of hours. Pay 100% of your attention. It is not like anything that you need to buy hard, you need to remember anything, not like that. Everything has its own reason. Everything has its own reason, so we need to understand with the reasons. So Telugu kuda explain chestanu, but mottam Telugu kaadu. We will kind of make a mix of between English as well as Telugu. Edaina point Telugulo chepta gaani ardham kavatledu annatuga atla edaina tricky ga unna point ni we will do in Telugu also, as you also said, and I am also keep telling. Edaina oka point meeku sir idi koncham Telugulo cheppandi ani anukunte, without any hesitation just put it there. So this point I want the explanation to be in Telugu, so I'm okay to do that. But mostly we will try to adjust between 2 languages for betterment of everything. Okay. Yeah. So ఎవరెవరు రిటర్న్ ఆఫ్ ఇన్కమ్ ని ఫైల్ చేయాలనేది మనకు సెక్షన్ 139(1) మనకు చెప్తుంది. As per section 139(1), it is compulsory for companies and firms to file the return of income or loss for every previous year on or before the due date. So what you mean by due date, I will tell you a bit later. It depends upon whether you are going for audit or whether you are an audit assessee or non-audit assessee or you have any transfer pricing issues. సో డ్యూ డేట్ ఏంటి అంటే అందరికీ డ్యూ డేట్ ఒకటిగా లేదు. మీరు ఆడిట్ చేయించుకుంటే ఒక డేట్ ఉంటుంది, 31st October. ఆడిట్ చేయించుకోకుంటే 31st July. అలా కాకుండా మీకు ఏమైనా ట్రాన్స్ఫర్ ప్రైజింగ్ ఇష్యూ ఉంటే ఫైనల్ అవుతుంది. ఎనీ ఆఫ్ ద pricing issues, 30th November will be your due date. The point that I was trying is for company firms, it is to file the return irrespective of threshold. అంటే ఈ రెండింటికి థ్రెషోల్డ్ లిమిటే లేదు. ఇప్పుడు మీరు ఒక కంపెనీ ఫామ్ ఇన్కార్పొరేట్ చేశారనుకుందాం. సో కంపెనీ ఇన్కార్పొరేట్ చేసినప్పుడు ఆ ఇయర్కి సంబంధించిన ఇన్కమ్ని యూ హ్యావ్ టు ఫైల్ ఏ రిటర్న్ ఆఫ్ ఇన్కమ్. So generally we get this question from many people. I mean, if you are in an articleship, student, hello, is my voice clear now? The issue is, I think, need okay somewhere. This is 5G only connected. Hello, can someone confirm if is it okay to continue or should I change the network from 5G to 4G? Okay, so someone saying it's yes, okay. So I'm not going to change it because that might cause another issues. Okay. Yeah. So let's come back. I'm sorry for delay. See, మనం యాజ్ ఏ సిఏ కానీ లేకపోతే సిఏ స్టూడెంట్గా కానీ జనరల్గా అడుగుతారు, నేను సోల్ ప్రొప్రైటర్షిప్ బిజినెస్ స్టార్ట్ చేయాలా లేదంటే ఫర్మ్ స్టార్ట్ చేయాలా లేకపోతే కంపెనీ స్టార్ట్ చేయాలని. So a lot of people think that starting the company form of business is good, but one more thing that you need to consider out of all other factors is that if you happen to be a firm or a company, you need to compulsorily file your return of income. I'm repeating, you have section 231. Person includes individual, AOP, BOI, firm, artificial judicial person, local authority, political party, everything that falls there, right? But for our section 139 subsection 1, for a firm and for a company, it is 100% compulsory, 100%. There is no other threshold limit. You need to file the return of income. Somebody might ask a question, sir, today is 31st, right? So what happens if I start my business today only? For one day, there is no operations, sir. I have not purchased anything. I have not paid anything, but should I file my return of income? Yes, you need to file your return of income if you happen to be a firm or company. No, ఇంకా వాళ్ళకి ఏమి రిలాక్సేషన్ ఏమి ఇవ్వలేదు. Second thing, a return of income or loss for the previous year has to be filed by every person being a resident other than not ordinarily resident in India, if such person at any time during the previous year. So this is ROR. For resident other than not ordinary resident. So resident and ordinary resident के लिए, if he holds is beneficial owner or otherwise any asset including any financial asset in any entity located outside India or has a signing authority in any account located outside India. Ante if I'm resident and ordinary resident, right? If I am having any asset outside India, ఇప్పుడు దుబాయ్లో ఒక ల్యాండ్ ఉంది, ఒక బిల్డింగ్ ఉంది, ఆ బిల్డింగ్కి నేను బెనిఫిషియల్ ఓనర్ అని అనుకుందాం. So even though I'm not having any taxable income, I need to file my return of income. Okay, and one more thing, signing authority in any account located outside India. What does that mean? I'm having a bank account in Swiss. Okay, Swiss banks అని అంటాం కదా, అండ్ ఆ బ్యాంక్లో I'm having an account. సో ఆ అకౌంట్కి నేనే సైనింగ్ అథారిటీ, అంటే ఏమైనా విత్డ్రా చేయాలన్నా మనీ ట్రాన్స్ఫర్ చేయాలన్నా ఐఎమ్ హ్యావింగ్ ద సైనింగ్ అథారిటీ. సో ఐ నీడ్ టు ఫైల్ ద రిటర్న్ ఆఫ్ ఇన్కమ్. is a beneficiary of any asset including financial interest in any entity located outside India, which means that foreign company la shares unnai, aa shares ki sambandhinchi ownership na daggara undante, even though I am not earning any income or like threshold limit tho sambandham lekunda, even though I am an individual, basic exemption limit tho sambandham lekunda, I need to file my return of income. This is kind of a tricky point. Exam lo దీనిపైన మీరు ఒక క్వశ్చన్ ని ఎక్స్పెక్ట్ చేయొచ్చు. Next thing, further, every person being an individual HUF, AOP, BOI, artificial judicial person whose total income or total income of any other person in respect of which he is assessable under this act during the previous year without giving effect to the exemption provided and contained in section 54 series law in respect of capital gain or reduction under chapter 6A exceeds basic exemption limit. So everything I'll read it once and I'll explain in our own language. మనం simple words లో కూడా చెప్పుకుందాం. ఒకసారి సెంటెన్స్ని కూడా చూద్దాం, ఎందుకంటే సెంటెన్స్ మనం ఎగ్జామ్లో రాయాలి కదా. సో సెంటెన్స్ ఏం చెప్తున్నానంటే, ఇఫ్ ఐఎమ్ ద ఇండివిజువల్ HUF, AOP, BOI, AP, నేను ఈ రిటర్న్ ఆఫ్ ఇన్కమ్ ఫైల్ చేయాలా వద్దా అంటే, ఇట్ డిపెండ్స్ అపాన్ ద ఇన్కమ్. నా ఇన్కమ్ బేసిక్ ఎగ్జంప్షన్ లిమిట్ ఎక్సీడ్ అవుతే ఐ నీడ్ టు ఫైల్ మై రిటర్న్ ఆఫ్ ఇన్కమ్. అది ఎప్పుడు క్యాలిక్యులేట్ చేయాలంటే, బిఫోర్ టేకింగ్ చాప్టర్ 6A డిడక్షన్స్, బిఫోర్ టేకింగ్ సెక్షన్ 54 బెనిఫిట్స్ డిడక్షన్స్. ఎగ్జాంపుల్ చెప్తాను. నాకు లాంగ్ టర్మ్ క్యాపిటల్ అసెట్ ఒకటి ఉంది, ఓకే. దెన్ నేను అమ్మడం వల్ల ఐఎమ్ గెటింగ్ ఏ లాంగ్ టర్మ్ క్యాపిటల్ గెయిన్ ఆఫ్ 55 lakh. దిస్ ఈస్ మై లాంగ్ టర్మ్ క్యాపిటల్ గెయిన్, ఓకే. సో 55 వద్దులే కానీ ఇంకా చిన్న అమౌంట్ తీసుకుందాం. ఐఎమ్ హ్యావింగ్ 52 lakh లాంగ్ టర్మ్ క్యాపిటల్ గెయిన్. సో సెక్షన్ 54 EC, you know right, like we have already completed capital gain chapter also. As per section 54 EC, I can invest in bonds, certain NHAI, Rural Electrification Corporation, అలాంటి వాటిలలో I can invest up to 50 lakh within 6 months. Okay, so I've invested 50 lakhs under section 54 EC. Now my taxable income is only 2 lakhs. So this is below the basic exemption limit. Now the question is, should I file my return of income or not? So the provision is saying you should calculate, you should consider the amount before taking any benefit under section 54. 54 కన్నా ముందు ఉన్న బెనిఫిట్స్ తీసుకోకన్నా ముందు ఉన్న ఇన్కమ్ని కన్సిడర్ చేయాలి. ఆర్ టేక్ వన్ మోర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్. మై సాలరీ ఈజ్ 5 lakh rupees. Okay, I am working for a company and my salary is 5 lakh rupees per annum. And chapter 6A deductions prakaram, as per chapter 6A deductions, I am having ATC 1.5 lakh, ATD 50,000, and ATG, will take one example, 2 lakh ante 1 lakh. So my taxable income is 5 lakhs minus 423 ante 2 lakhs. So now this is below the basic exemption limit. Should I file my return of income or not? The question that you should ask yourself is, we should consider the income before taking chapter 6A deductions, before taking section 54 deductions. Then only we should say, if you are happen to be an individual HUF, AOP, BOI, artificial judicial person, you need to file your return of income if it exceeds basic exemption limit before considering chapter 6A deductions and before considering deductions under section 54. Okay, so pay more attention. Exam la edaina question ivochu, so we need not solve 2-3 questions and feel confident. Our confidence should come more from the understanding the provisions in its entirety. So they are using one more word, guys, whose total income or total income of any other person ante. Any other person ante yesterday only we have done. This means clubbing. So after clubbing, you should see whether it is exceeding 2.5 lakh or more. One example, my salary is 2 lakh rupees only. Okay, my salary is 2 lakh rupees only. What I am doing is, I am transferring an asset to my wife. Of that, 1 lakh is clubbed in my hands. So a clubbing ayin tarvata I should see, not before clubbing. Okay, so that is the reason why they say total income of any other person of which you are accessible to tax. So instead of saying clubbing provisions, they say this big word, but understanding is that my total income plus the clubbing provisions, all these should be considered. Then before considering section 54 and before considering chapter 6A, you had to see if it is exceeding 2.5 lakh. I'm not saying, I'm just saying 2.5 lakh. For me, it is 2.5 lakh. If it is a senior citizen, 3 lakh. If it is a super senior citizen, it is 5 lakh, depending upon the age. Okay, but for normal people, it is 2.5 lakh. Any person other than a company or a firm who is not required to furnish the return of income under section 113(1). Firm company కాకుండా మిగతా వాళ్ళకి, what did I say? If you are a ROR and you are having any signing authority or any beneficial interest situated outside India, and you are having a signing authority for any bank situated outside India, then you need to file your return of income irrespective of the limit, if it is other than firm and company. But for other than these people, you have one few more conditions. Has deposited in an amount or aggregate of the amounts exceeding 1 crore in one or more current accounts maintained with a banking company or a cooperative bank. So this is one of the questions I got it from one of my friends. So what they have done is they are having one small business and they are having a current account also. Their income is less, but because they do a lot of transactions like cash transaction, the current account total has been gone beyond 1 crore, and they got a notice from the CBDT saying that you have not filed the return of income. Okay, to put it in other way, if your income is not exceeding basic exemption limit, you are an individual, you are a individual, and your basic exemption limit is not exceeding 2.5 lakh rupees, but you are having a current account in one or more banks, or in a cooperative society, and you are depositing more than 1 crore. Exam kosam meer okkadi gurtu pettukondi, deposit 1 crore, adi only oka bank lone kaadu, multiple banks lo kalpi kuda తీసుకుంటాం. Okay, so I will do Krishna, as I said that as long as you people are interested to listen, I am always ready to teach. Okay, so my action is toward more of a reaction from your response. Okay, so we will be taking more classes as well, no issues, but for time being, just understand this one word: you are an individual. Okay, you are having a current account, not just in one current account, you are having multiple current accounts. It could be in a banking channel, it could be your cooperative society, and that amount of deposit that you are making is more than 1 crore, then you need to file your return of income. Chala mandiki ఇది తెలియదు, నోటీస్ వచ్చే వరకు వెయిట్ చేస్తారు. నోటీస్ వచ్చే వరకు వెయిట్ చేయాల్సిన అవసరం లేదు. అన్నెసెసరీగా 234F ప్రకారము you will be end up paying taxes, you will be end up paying fees also, 5,000 or 1,000 depending upon the case. So that is the reason why even when income tax is not giving you any notice, once you fall into these brackets, you need to file your return of income. And next thing, has incurred expenditure of an amount or aggregate of the amounts exceeding 2 lakh rupees for himself or any other person for travel to a foreign country. So manam Japan, Taiwan, Indonesia, Singapore, US, Canada, wherever you are going and you are incurring an amount of 2 lakh rupees or more for travel expenditure, అంటే అది నీ కోసమే కాదు, నువ్వు మీ వైఫ్ ఇద్దరు కలిసి వెళ్తున్నారు, లేక మీ స్పౌస్ కలిసి వెళ్తున్నారు, మీ కిడ్స్ కలిసి వెళ్తున్నారు, లేకుంటే యూఆర్ అరేంజింగ్ ఫర్ సమ్ వన్ ఎల్స్ ఆల్సో, లైక్ అత్తమామ కొడుకు కోడల కోసం అరేంజ్ చేస్తున్నారు, ఎనీథింగ్. ఇఫ్ యూ ఆర్ ఇంకరింగ్ ఎ ఫారెన్ ఎక్స్పెండిచర్ ఆఫ్ మోర్ దెన్ 2 lakh rupees, then you need to file your return of income. 2 lakh rupees you are incurring on a foreign travel, right? So you need to file your return of income. Has incurred expenditure of an amount or aggregate of the amounts exceeding 1 lakh towards the consumption of electricity. Now you cannot see it, but we are having a studio. So studio may you will have a lot of lights, and our electricity is also more. Assuming that I am having all AC and centralized AC and all this studio kind of a thing, no, my expenditure or electricity would be more than 1 lakh rupees in a year. If that is the case, even though I'm an individual, even though my income is not exceeding basic exemption limit, still I need to file my return of income. Okay, so please focus on the topic, guys. I will come to your comments also, but I would love the participation from your end. I would love the questioning from your end. Okay, so that makes me going also. Yeah, so come back to this. Who are all required to file the return of income? I'll just quickly revise. One, if you are a firm, file the return of income. If you are a company, file the return of income. If you are ROR and you are having any financial beneficial interest outside India, you need to file the return of income. You are having a bank account outside India and you are having a signing authority of that, you need to file the return of income. And if you happen to be individual, HUF, AOP, BOI, AJP, and your total income before section 54 series ka deductions and before chapter 6 deductions, and if it exceeds basic exemption limit 2.5 lakh or 3 lakh or 5 lakh as a case may be, you need to file your return of income. Other than that, CBDT has given few more guidelines. One guideline is that you are having a current account with one bank or more than one bank, or one cooperative society or more than one cooperative society, and you are depositing more than 1 crore rupees, just a deposit, it's not income, but still you need to file the return of income. And you are going to you are incurring foreign travel expenditure of more than 2 lakh rupees, you need to file the return of income. And you are incurring electricity consumption of more than 1 lakh rupees in a year, you need to file the return of income. Any questions so far? I'll just take a break now. Any questions so far? So that is a break time for me. Whenever you say any questions or any interaction, now you keep interacting. That's a break for me. So Jacob, thank you. Good evening, Gurunada. Okay. Srinivasa, Manikanta need SM classes. So I am not taking any classes for time being. What I'm doing is I'm just taking classes YouTube live. Okay. Whoever wants to watch, they'll watch. I'm not taking any face-to-face or online classes. Any questions? Are we good to go? I mean, the thing is that entire chapter we are breaking into part by part. Each part has to be very clear. At the end, you see the entire chapter, it will be like fun only. Okay, so we are like dividing and ruling. First, section 139, subsection 1 mein, who are all required to file the return of income along with the rules also. And CBDT has come up with a few more things where you need to file your return of income. Total sales, turnover or gross receipts as the case may be in the business exceeds 60 lakh rupees. So I'm having a business, okay. So because I'm an accountant and chartered accountant, so what I would do, what I'm getting and what expenditure I have. So I can inflate my expenditure also and prepare my own books of accounts and show it that my income is lesser than the basic exemption limit. I'm not saying I will do it, people do it, okay. So for that reason, CBDT is saying that, boss, when your sales or turnover or gross receipts exceed 60 lakhs in case of a business, please file your return of income. Even though it is a nil return, it's fine, but please file it. If I have any doubt, I will ask for more information. Section 141 will come into picture, 142 will come into picture, but for time being, you file the return of income. Okay, and if it is a profession, if it exceeds 10 lakhs, so as I keep telling in every video that my accounting services, if I'm generating more than 10 lakh rupees in a year, irrespective of what my income or what my loss, whether I want to carry forward the loss or not, irrespective of all those things, if my gross receipts exceeds 10 lakh rupees in a year, I need to file the return of income. If it is a business more than 60 lakhs, I need to file the return of income. It is not audit, okay, don't get confused with section 44A AB, that is a audit section. This is just filing the return of income section. Okay, and my TDS is more than 25,000, or if you are a senior citizen, your TDS deducted is more than 50,000. So what I mean by that, so I am a professional now, so I will be keep giving professional services to different clients. Okay, so 1 lakh rupees is the fees I am charging to one client for one of the services. Okay, and 194J के हिसाब से they will be deducting 10,000 rupees, 10%. So they will be deducting 10,000, right? Like this client number 1, the more client who also deducted 10,000. There is another client number 3, he also deducted another 10,000. So in a year, total deduction of TDS for me is 30,000, right? Which is more than 25,000. So I need to file the return of income. B, I am getting refund, or B, I want to claim the refund or not. That is a different issue. Income tax is not telling that, boss, on your name TDS has been deducted, so you claim refund. CBDT is not asking you to claim the refund. If you want to, you claim, you show the proper accounting, proper taxation provisions and all. But for time being, on your name 30,000 has been deducted, means more than 25,000 has been deducted, right? So you need to file the return of income. Assuming that I am a senior citizen, like more than 60 years, the limit is 50,000. I'll repeat. If you are having a business, turnover, sales, gross receipts more exceeds 60 lakh rupees, you need to file the return of income. If it is a profession, sales or gross receipts exceeds 10 lakh rupees, you need to file the return of income. If you are a normal person and the TDS or TCS has been deducted or collected on your name, on your behalf is more than 25,000 rupees, you need to file the return of income. If you happen to be a senior citizen and your TDS and TCS portion exceeds 50,000 rupees, you need to file the return of income. Okay. And deposit in one or more saving accounts of the person in aggregate is 50 lakh rupees or more. Just you are depositing in a saving bank account, and the amount is more than 50 lakh rupees or 50 lakh or more than that, you need to file the return of income. So you might ask a question, and you should be asking a question. See, I'm asking all the questions that you should be asking. So there is a 1 crore, no sir. Why 1 crore is there? 150 lakhs. See, if it is a saving bank, no, 50 lakh is a limit. But if it is a current account, like for business people, they take a current account, right? There the limit is 1 crore. See, if you are a business, if you are having a business and you opened a current account and the deposit is more than 1 crore rupees, assuming 90 lakh rupees, you need not file the return of income. But for me, due to some reason or something, I'm getting some money and I'm depositing in a savings account and the amount is more than 50 lakh rupees, I need to file the return of income. Any questions so far, or are we going too fast? See, boss, this is a revision lectures, no? So some point of time we had to make a distinction, like we had to go little fast only. Slower than this also not good, because I want to complete till 144. Okay, audit, special audit, reference to valuation officer, revise the return, updated return, and the amendments are also there in that chapter. Anyone, any question? All are so silent. If it is not clear, just let me know it is not clear. It's అర్థం కాకపోతే చెప్పండి ఏ పాయింట్ అర్థం కాలేదని. That one point I'll explain. 3 or third point, third point. Okay. See, third point ఏంటంటే పూజిత. సో థర్డ్ పాయింట్ ఏంటంటే మీకు ఎవరైనా ఇన్కమ్ ఇస్తప్పుడు వాళ్ళు TDS డిడక్ట్ చేస్తారు. ఇట్ కుడ్ బి 194C, 194J, 194I, 194I, ఏదైనా సెక్షన్స్ మీకు తెలిసినాయి కదా. ఏదైనా సెక్షన్ ప్రకారము ఇప్పుడు నేనే ఉన్నాను, మీరు ప్రొఫెషనల్ సర్వీసెస్ ఇస్తున్నారు, మీరు CA, CMA అయిపోయారు అనుకుందాం, ప్రొఫెషనల్ సర్వీసెస్ ఇస్తున్నారు. సో ఐఎమ్ గివింగ్ యూ సమ్ ప్రొఫెషనల్ ఫీజ్ టు యూ. సో ప్రొఫెషనల్ ఫీజ్ ఇస్తప్పుడు నేను TDS డిడక్ట్ చేస్తాను కదా, అలా డిడక్ట్ చేసిన అమౌంట్ ఇయర్ మొత్తంలో 25,000 దాటింది అంటే మీరు రిటర్న్ ఆఫ్ ఇన్కమ్ ఫైల్ చేయాలి. ఐఎమ్ రిపీటింగ్, వెన్ ఎ డిడక్టర్ ఈస్ డిడక్టింగ్ more than 25,000 rupees in a year, not from only one client or not from only one source, from all the sources, if the total TDS deducted in your name, అంటే మీ పేరు పైన మొత్తం TDS ఇయర్ మొత్తంలో 25,000 దాటింది, TDS కావచ్చు, TCS కావచ్చు, TDS కావచ్చు, TCS కావచ్చు, you need to file the return of income. Means you have to tell to the government that you have taken all that income into consideration and you have kind of correctly showing it to the government అని చెప్పడానికి. ఓకే, సో దట్స్ ఇట్. సో లిమిట్ సేవింగ్ అకౌంట్కి ఉంది కదా 50 lakh rupees అని, 50 lakh rupees సేవింగ్ అకౌంట్ లిమిట్ ఉంది. సో ఇక్కడ లిమిట్ ఏంటి అంటే, ఇప్పుడు మీరు సేవింగ్ అకౌంట్ మీకు ఒకటి ఉంది, మీ ఫాదర్ కావచ్చు, మీకు కావచ్చు, మీకు ఏదైనా ఒక సోర్స్ వల్ల మీకు ఇన్కమ్ వచ్చింది, వాట్ ఎవర్ ద సోర్స్ కెన్ బి, యు ఆర్ డిపాజిటింగ్ ఇన్ ద బ్యాంక్, సేవింగ్స్ బ్యాంక్ అకౌంట్లో, అండ్ ద అమౌంట్ ఈస్ మోర్ 50 lakh rupees ఆర్ మోర్, యూ నీడ్ టు ఫైల్ ద రిటర్న్ ఆఫ్ ఇన్కమ్. మేబీ దట్ ఈస్ ద జెన్యూన్ అమౌంట్ ఉండొచ్చు, మేబీ అది ఒక మ్యూచువల్ ఫండ్, agricultural income అయి ఉండొచ్చు. ఫర్ వెరీ simple example, like we all come from agricultural families and agricultural background, so we are that is exempt income, and maybe we have earned 1 crore rupees. I mean, I have seen some people, some farmers who are earning in crores also, but it is exempt. Okay, even though the amount is more, it is still exempt. So assuming that a farmer is earning 75 lakh rupees and it is all exempted income, so he's depositing in a savings account. So government is like, okay, it's fine, it is saving, you are a genuine person, it is exempt only, but just show me that how you got that 75 lakh rupees. సో గవర్నమెంట్కి తెలియాలనుకుంటున్నావు, అంత సేవింగ్ అకౌంట్లో నువ్వు 50 లక్షల కన్నా ఎక్కువ నువ్వు డిపాజిట్ చేస్తున్నావు అంటే నీ సోర్స్ ఎక్కడ, నీ ఎక్స్పెండిచర్ ఏంటి, నీ అవన్నీ జెన్యూన్ సోర్సెస్ ఏనా కాదని చెప్పడానికి, జస్ట్ లెట్ us know how you are earning that income అని చెప్పడానికి they are giving this thing. And coming to the due date, as I just explained, come from the bottom. Like if you are happening to come under section 92A, మనకు ఒకటి ట్రాన్స్ఫర్ ప్రైజింగ్ రిపోర్ట్ అని ఒకటి ఉంటుంది ఒకటి. సో ట్రాన్స్ఫర్ ప్రైజింగ్ ఇష్యూస్లో మీరు ఇన్వాల్వ్ అయిపోతారు, లైక్ యూ ఆర్ giving any services or taking any expenditure, and somewhere that the transfer pricing issue is coming into picture. Let's see, if people are interested, we will come up with the transfer pricing provisions also. Anyway, that is in my mind to come up with the transfer pricing chapter. So if you are happen to fall into the bracket of transfer pricing, obviously it takes more time, because you have to not just complete your books of accounts, you have to do the other thing also, like you need కంపారబుల్ ప్రైజెస్ కావాలి, మెథడ్ కావాలి, రిపోర్ట్ కావాలి, చాలా ఉంటుంది కాబట్టి. సో వాట్ దే సే ఇస్ దట్ యువర్ డ్యూ డేట్ విల్ బి 30th November. Okay, if you are having any transfer pricing issues, transfer pricing reports, the due date is 30th November. Or if you are going for a audit, okay, audit, If you are a company, obviously you will be going for an audit. Firm, you will be going for an audit, and you are 44A, like representative taxation. If you are not fall, if you are not offering your income as per the present taxation, then you need to maintain the books of accounts under 44 AA, and you need to get them audited under section 44 AB. There are so many cases. I mean, just watch our PGBB chapter if anybody is having still doubt on that. There are certain occasions where a company or a firm has to go for a audit. If you are happening to go for an audit, then 30th October will be your due date. Again, 31st October. 31st October for audit parties. 31st October for audit parties. 30th November for transfer pricing people. ఇంకా మనలాంటి వాళ్ళ కోసము 31st July. ఓకే, అంతే. మనకు ఆడిట్ లేదు, మనకు ట్రాన్స్ఫర్ ప్రైసింగ్ లేదు. సో మనం సింపుల్ నార్మల్ పర్సన్స్ కదా. ఫర్ పీపుల్ లైక్ అస్, వీ డోంట్ హ్యావ్ ఎనీ అదర్ కాంప్లికేషన్స్. ఓకే, ఫర్ అస్ 31st July will be the due date. And one more thing, if a firm is getting audited, obviously their books of accounts will be closed and everything will be done by 31st October only, right? So the partners of the firm will also have to, their due date will also be 31st October. Endukante, assuming that I am a partner in a firm, so and they are also going for an audit, so their last date is 31st October, right? So partner, for me as a partner also, my last date will be, or my due date will be 31st October only, because section 40B, you remember, right? All the calculations, it has to be done in the hands of the firm. Then only the income will be exempt, right? So exempt or taxable depending upon section 40B provision. So that is the reason why first the accounting has to be done from the firm level, and then at the individual or partner level. That is the reason why if your firm is going for an audit, definitely you also have to, your due date will also be 31st October. A partner of a firm whose accounts are required to be audited, అదే చెప్తున్నాడు. And by chance, if you delay in filing the return of income, you will be paying the interest. So there is something called interest, there is something called penalty also. So first one is interest. Section 234A, section 234B, section 234C, these three things you have to understand at once. 234A is delay in filing the return of income. 234B is when you are depositing your advance tax quarterly, if there is any delay. And 234C is that you need to deposit up to at least 90% of your assessed tax. So that is 234C. That will come up with a separate chapter. But now just understand, 234A is delay in filing the return of income, as what they said it, section 139. Okay, simple interest at the rate of 1% per month or part of the month is payable for the period commencing from the date immediately following the due date and ending on the date if they are filing the return of income, when they are filing the return of income, if they are not filing, whenever the assessment is completed. I'll explain this one more time. So what they are saying is section 234A, మీరు రిటర్న్ ఆఫ్ ఇన్కమ్ ఫైల్ చేయడం డిలే చేస్తే 1% పర్ మంత్ ఆర్ పార్ట్ ఆఫ్ ద మంత్ పడుతుంది. 1%. ఇక్కడ నుంచి ఎప్పటి వరకు అంటే, జస్ట్ నౌ వి డిస్కస్డ్ వెన్ ఈజ్ యువర్ డ్యూ డేట్. ఓకే, ఇట్ కుడ్ బి 31st July, ఆర్ ఇట్ కుడ్ బి 31st October, ఆర్ ఇట్ కుడ్ బి 30th November. ఇక్కడ నుంచి that 1% or part of the month, 1% per month or part of the month will be calculated until, assuming that you are filing the return of income on certain date. Okay, you are filing it on the 30th November, example. So 31st July se 30th November tak interest. So if you are filing the return, whenever you are filing till that time, okay, assuming that you are not filing the return, if you are not filing the return, you might be knowing, or you will come to know in some time, there is a section called 144, best judgment assessment. And the meaning ఏంటంటే, income tax officer is looking at like this, this fellow is not filing any return of income, let me come back and let me estimate his total income as per the best judgment, as per the information that I have, as per the information that he provides or is available anywhere else, as per the income tax CBDT portal. On that basis, based upon his previous income or anything like that, I will be doing the best judgment assessment. So till the time that happens, the interest rate will be continuing like 1% per month or part of the month. If you file the return of income, due date say filing date tak. If you are not filing the return of income, due date say data when the assessment is completed, which is nothing but your section 144. It could be 144. Sometimes income escapement assessment also will come into picture, section 147 and 153A also. All those are final concepts. We will talk that in the subsequent videos which are exclusively for final. But for time being, 234A is 1% per month or part of the month from the date on which immediately next day from the due date till, if it is filed the return of income, till the time of filing the return. If you are not filing the return of income, till when the assessment is completed. So that will be the provision. So whenever they are calculating the interest, no, what they do is they will take your gross total income and then your whatever that you provide, no, like TDS, TCS, like whenever you make a delay, no, so whatever the deductions or credits you are otherwise eligible, you can take it. Example, section 89 is like your arrears of salary. They will give, because there is a double taxation on that, they will be giving a relief. 90, 98, 91, this is also DTAA. This is generally understood by final students. Okay, so DTAA, when India is having a agreement with another country and you are earning an income there also and you are paying tax there also. So when you are filing the return of income here, you will be taking some benefits. All that calculations will do subsequently. But for time being, when you are calculating that 1% per month, you will calculate your total income and then all the deductions and your TDS, your advance tax, your TCS, and then all MAT provisions, AMT provisions, everything, the credit will be there. No? All that credit will be available on last amount, means say they will be calculating that 1%. See, in other way of saying is how much you would have otherwise payable if you had filed the return of income on time. అంటే నువ్వు టైంకి ఫైల్ చేసి ఉంటే నువ్వు ఎంత అమౌంట్ పైన చేసేవానువో అది, అంటే యువర్ టోటల్ ఇన్కమ్, యువర్ గ్రాస్ టోటల్ ఇన్కమ్, యువర్ ఆల్ క్రెడిట్స్ 89, 90, 90, TDS, MAT credit, AMT credit, all that credit will be given to you. Okay, and assumably if anybody is at inter level and if you don't understand anything, don't worry, just like this, 1% per month or part of the month from the date, from the next date, from the due date till the return of income is filed or when the assessment is completed, that is sufficient at inter level. Okay, so next, specified classes of persons to be exempted from filing the return of income. So konni daggara sometimes CBDT is also coming and coming out and saying that you need not file the return of income every time. I am giving you few relaxations. Konni relaxations istundi. Evariki relaxations ante for non-corporate, non-residents and foreign companies having any income chargeable under the head Income Tax Act 1961 during a previous year from investment fund set up in the International Financial Service Center located in India, from the requirements of furnishing the return of income under section 139(1) from the assessment year 1920 onwards. So this is important, I would say. See how they ask a question in examination is they give you 4 instances and they will be asking you whether the below assessees or class of assessees are eligible or required to file the return of income. If so, what is the due date? Okay, so this kind of a question I have seen in the past, so they might ask maybe in a MCQ, maybe in a descriptive. So this provision is like, you remember whoever has done this income from capital gain with me, I have explained this specifically. From International Financial Service Center, we have given lot of benefits. For STT, short time capital gain, you need not pay the security transaction tax if you happen to be placed in the IFSC. And for interest on loan that you are borrowing, 194 LBB, LBA, LBC. Okay, this I have explained in the capital gain chapter. Please watch that video if you are not watched. But for time being, you are receiving an income from a fund situated in IFSC and you are a non-resident. Sir, అర్థం కావట్లేదు అంటే మనం హైదరాబాద్లో ఐఎఫ్ఎస్సి ఒకటి ఉంది. ఓకే, సో ఇక్కడ ఒక ఫండ్ ఉంది, దిస్ ఈజ్ ఐఎఫ్ఎస్సి, దే హ్యావింగ్ సమ్ ఇన్వెస్ట్మెంట్ ఫండ్. ఓకే, ఇందులో ఎవడు ఇన్వెస్ట్ చేస్తాడంటే దేర్ ఈజ్ అ నాన్ రెసిడెంట్, కార్పొరేట్ ఆర్ అదర్ ఇండివిజువల్, దే హ్యావ్ ఇన్వెస్టెడ్ హియర్ అండ్ దిస్ ఐఎఫ్ఎస్సి ఈజ్ గివింగ్ దెమ్ interest and that interest is taxable under 194 LBB. Okay, so because it is taxable under 194 LBB, that fund will be deducting the TDS on the interest that they are paying it to non-resident, and this they will be remitting to the government. So in that case, this non-resident is exempt from filing the return of income. This is so complicated topic, but try to understand in a simplest way. మనకు ఒక ఫండ్ ఉంది, ఆ ఫండ్ ఎక్కడ ఉందంటే ఐఎఫ్ఎస్సిలో ఉంది. ఆ ఫండ్లో ఇన్వెస్ట్ చేసిన వాడు అంటే నాన్ రెసిడెంట్, ఆడ ఒక ఇండివిజువల్ కావచ్చు, కంపెనీ కావచ్చు, కార్పొరేట్ కావచ్చు, నార్మల్ పర్సన్ కావచ్చు. సో ఈ ఫండ్ ఆ ఇంట్రెస్ట్ ఆ నాన్ రెసిడెంట్కి ఇచ్చేటప్పటికే 194 LBB ప్రకారం టీడీఎస్ డిడక్ట్ చేస్తుంది. అండ్ డిడక్ట్ చేసి ద అమౌంట్ దే విల్ బి గివింగ్ ఇట్ టు ద గవర్నమెంట్. ఇన్ దట్ కేస్ ఆ నాన్ రెసిడెంట్ కార్పొరేట్ ఎస్ఎస్సి ఆర్ నాన్ కార్పొరేట్ ఎస్ఎస్సి కానీ వాడు రిటర్న్ ఆఫ్ ఇన్కమ్ ఇండియాలో ఫైల్ చేయాల్సిన అవసరం లేదు, ప్రొవైడెడ్ దట్ పర్సన్ విల్ నాట్ డూ ఎనీ ఆపరేషన్ ఇన్ ఇండియా. ఈ షుడ్ నాట్ బి అండర్టేకింగ్ ఎనీ బిజినెస్ ఆర్ ఎనీ ఇన్కమ్ ఫ్రమ్ ఇండియా అదర్ దెన్ దిస్. In that case, he is exempted from file return of income. You can expect 1 mark on this, and this is a very tricky point. Anybody having any question with respect to this, or is it too complicated, or are you feeling like it, sir, we are discussing something that we never thought? Ala emana anipistunda lekante parle sir, we can manage anatuga unda? Is it too complicated things that we are discussing? As I said, though we are calling it as a revision lectures, I don't want to restrict ourselves to small chutke topics. We'll go all out, we'll touch every corner of our topics. Okay, anybody, any question with respect to this exempted from filing the return of income? I gave one example for non-resident corporate and non-resident non-corporate associates who are investing in a investment fund which is situated in IFSC, and IFSC, that fund has already deducted TDS and they deposited to the government. And that fellow, that non-resident and non-corporate assessee, not having any income other than this in India, then he is exempted from filing the return of income. Okay, but this will not be applicable whenever the income escapement provisions are applicable or scrutiny assessment is coming into picture. That we will discuss bit later. 153, 153C, 153A, 148, 142A, scrutiny assessment, income escapement assessment. Okay, so this we will discuss in the subsequent sessions for exclusive final students. For time being, they need not file the return of income. So only one person saying it is clear. Is it that only 1% is it clear for only 1%, or only 1% is watching our class? Can I expect any other answer, guys? Anyone else having any issues so far? We are going to the loss return, belated return, revised return, 139, 3, 4, 5 in a particular order. Anyone, any question? Clear, Krishna? Okay. లాస్ట్ 2 పాయింట్స్ చెప్పానా? ఇప్పుడు ఐసిఐసిఐ బ్యాంక్ ఎలా ఉంది అట్లాగే ఒక ఇన్వెస్ట్మెంట్ ఫండ్ ఒక ఐఎఫ్ఎస్సి సెంటర్లో ఉంది. ఐఎఫ్ఎస్సి అంటే మనకు సెజ్ అనేది ఒక కాన్సెప్ట్ ఉంది కదా, స్పెషల్ ఎకనామిక్ జోన్ అని. అంటే స్పెషల్ ఎకనామిక్ జోన్లో ఉన్న కంపెనీస్కి కొన్ని బెనిఫిట్స్ ఇస్తారు. ఓకే, కొన్ని బెనిఫిట్స్ ఇస్తారు. అలాగే ఐఎఫ్ఎస్సి కూడా కొన్ని బెనిఫిట్స్ ఇచ్చారు. అదొక ఏరియా, ఆ ఏరియాలో ఒక ఇన్వెస్ట్మెంట్ ఒకటి చేస్తాడు. ఓకే, ఆ ఇన్వెస్ట్మెంట్ ఫండ్ అంటే ఇన్వెస్ట్మెంట్ కంపెనీ అనుకుందాం. ఆ కంపెనీలో ఎవడు ఇన్వెస్ట్ చేస్తారంటే నాన్ రెసిడెంట్ ఇన్వెస్ట్ చేస్తాడు. వాడు ఇండియాకి ఎప్పుడు రాలేదు, ఇండియా ముఖం చూడలేదు, ఇండియాలో ఇన్వెస్ట్ చేయలేదు. వాడు ఫారెన్ కరెన్సీలోనే డబ్బులు ఇచ్చాడు, US డాలర్స్లోనే ఇచ్చాడు అనుకుందాం ఎగ్జాంపుల్. సో ఇప్పుడు ఈ ఇన్వెస్ట్మెంట్ కంపెనీ ఏం చేస్తుందంటే ఇయర్ ఎండింగ్ తర్వాత ప్రాఫిట్స్ వస్తాయి కదా, ఆ ప్రాఫిట్స్లో ఇంట్రెస్ట్ ఇన్కమ్ని ఆ నాన్ రెసిడెంట్కి డిస్ట్రిబ్యూట్ చేస్తుంది ఆర్ ఇస్తుంది. ఇచ్చినప్పుడు 194 LBB అని ఒక సెక్షన్ ఉంటుంది, టీడీఎస్ ప్రొవిజన్. అది ఆ ప్రొవిజన్ ప్రకారం టీడీఎస్ డిడక్ట్ చేసి ఇన్వెస్ట్మెంట్ ఫండ్ డిడక్ట్ చేసేసి అమౌంట్ని గవర్నమెంట్ కూడా కట్టేసింది. అప్పుడు ఆ నాన్ రెసిడెంట్ ఉన్నాడు కదా, ఎవడైతే ఇండియాకి ఇంతవరకు ఒక్కసారి కూడా రాలేడో వాడు రిటర్న్ ఆఫ్ ఇన్కమ్ ఫైల్ చేయాల్సిన అవసరం లేదు. కాకపోతే ఈ కండిషన్స్ ఏంటి, వాడికి వేరే ఇన్కమ్ ఏమి ఉండకూడదు, అది ఐఎఫ్ఎస్సిలో ఉండాలి, 194 LBB ప్రకారం టీడీఎస్ డిడక్ట్ అయి ఉండాలి, అది గవర్నమెంట్కి పే చేసి ఉండాలి. అంటే ఆబ్వియస్లీ వీళ్ళు పే చేసి ఉంటారు. Okay, so we are going to the next one. Jaya Teja, is it clear now, IFSC point? Yeah. So next రిటర్న్ ఆఫ్ లాసెస్ అంటే మనము చాప్టర్ 68 డిడక్షన్ చెప్పుకున్నప్పుడు ప్రతిసారి ఓర్రాను కదా నేను. వెన్ యూ ఆర్ ఇంకరింగ్ ఎనీ లాస్, ఈవెన్ ఎస్టర్డే ఆల్సో వీ హ్యావ్ డన్ క్లబ్బింగ్ సెట్ ఆఫ్ అండ్ క్యారీ ఫార్వర్డ్ ప్రొవిజన్స్. దేర్ వర్ సో మెనీ places where if you are incurring any loss in the current year, you have to carry forward to the next year. If you are incurring a loss from, I don't say business, okay, if you want to carry forward, you need to file the return of income. Section 80 same point ikkada ade cheptundi, whenever you are having any loss, you need to file the return of income. So that is also under section 139(3). So whatever the return that you are filing under 139(3), it is deemed as if you have filed under section 139(1). So income tax, they don't say the word 139(3), 139(4), 139(5). They only say 139(1) only. So which means that whatever the return that you are filing under 139(3), even loss return also, that will be treated as if you have filed the return of return under 139(1). అంటే సింపుల్గా చెప్పాలంటే నువ్వు 139(3)లో ప్రకారము లాస్ రిటర్న్ ఫైల్ చేసినా, it is deemed or it will be treated as if you have filed under 139(1) only. So whenever the section, any other section says that 139(1), it means it is 139(3) also. Yeah. Section 80 requires mandatory filing of return of loss under section 139(3) on or before the due date specified under section 139(1) for carry forward of the following losses. See, set off and carry forward chapter vinna valaki, this is like a cakewalk. Okay. Business loss under section 72(1). We have specified business, we have speculative business, we have non-specified, non-speculative business. Specified aithe unlimited, speculative aithe 4 years, so non-specified, non-speculative aithe 8 years, right? So that in order for you to do that, you need to file the return of income under section 139(3). Speculative loss adi kuda cheyali, loss from specified business adi kuda cheyali. Moodu nenu okasari cheppanu chadavakunda. So ee 3 business losses ni you need to file the return of income. The head capital gain, short term capital gain, long term capital gain గుర్తుందా? షార్ట్ టర్మ్ క్యాపిటల్ గెయిన్, లాంగ్ టర్మ్ క్యాపిటల్ గెయిన్ ఎలా దాన్ని సెట్ ఆఫ్ చేసుకోవాలనేది. సో ఫర్ యూ టు క్యారీ ఫార్వర్డ్ అండ్ సెట్ ఆఫ్ ఇన్ ద సబ్సిక్వెంట్ ఇయర్స్, యూ నీడ్ టు ఫైల్ ద రిటర్న్ ఆఫ్ ఇన్కమ్ అండర్ సెక్షన్ 139(3). Loss from the activity of owning and maintaining horse races, even there also you need to file your return of income. But there are 2 exceptions. This also I told yesterday also. Income from horse property and unabsorbed depreciation ke liye it's okay that you don't file the return of income also. Ante return of income pratisari nu file cheyali, loss return aina nu file cheyali. But income from horse property lo una loss 2 lakh varaku undani cheppanu kada. At the same time unabsorbed depreciation, unlimited period మనం carry forward చేస్తాం కదా, unlimited period వరకు ఆ రెండు losses ni, unabsorbed depreciation as well as loss from horse property, these 2 can be carried forward even when you don't file the return of loss under section 133. That's fine. And the next one is belated returns. Belated and belated happy birthday and antam kada, same way belated returns. You should have filed your return of income by 31st October or 31st July or 30th November. This we know it, right? In case if you skip that or slip that date, you can do the belated return also. When you can do is before 3 months prior to the end of the relevant assessment year. What do you mean by that? Mana previous year 2022 to 23. Okay, so I will write it here. 1st April 2022 to 31st March 2023. So our assessment year will be 1st April 2023 to 31st March 24. Okay, what they are saying, end of the relevant assessment year nunchi 3 months earlier annadu. 3 months earlier ante I need to file my belated return by 31st December 2023. So earlier the provision was different. Earlier it was before the end of relevant assessment year అని చెప్పి ఉండేది. ఒక 2 years back మీరు చూసిండుంటే that was amended. Now it is only till December only, which means that ఇప్పుడు మన ప్రీవియస్ ఇయర్ 2022-23 అయిపోయింది. అది ఇప్పుడు రిటర్న్ ఆఫ్ ఇన్కమ్ ఫైల్ చేయడానికి డేట్ టైం వస్తుంది. లైక్ పీపుల్ ఆర్ గెటింగ్ రెడీ టు ఫైల్ ద రిటర్న్ ఆఫ్ ఇన్కమ్. ఓకే, సో ద లేటెస్ట్ దే కెన్ ఫైల్ దేర్ బిలేటెడ్ రిటర్న్ ఇస్ 31st December 2023. Or before the completion of assessment, whichever is earlier. So in case by 31st December, if you don't file the return of income and the department is coming and filing it under 144, the best judgment assessment, it doesn't happen. But as a provision we are reading, generally they will not complete the assessment before 31st December, because they will have a lot of other issues. They have to take care of TDS, TCS and refund other things. But as a provision, before the end of the completion of the assessment or before 3 months from the end of the 3 months prior to the end of the relevant assessment year. Assessment year ఎప్పుడు ఎండ్ అవుతుంది? 31st March of that year కదా, దానికన్నా 3 months బ్యాక్ వెళ్ళండి. అంటే 31st December లాస్ట్ డే వరకు మాత్రమే you can file the belated return of income. This is a little important because there was an amendment, so you can expect a question on this. And then consequences of filing the belated return. So what happens, sir? Why should I file only by 31st of July? What happens if I file by 31st of December? ఇప్పుడు నా ఇన్కమ్ ఇప్పుడు ఉంది 20-23 ఇన్కమ్ని ఇప్పుడు నేను 31st జూలై వరకు ఎందుకు ఫైల్ చేయాలి, 31st డిసెంబర్ వరకు కూడా చేసుకోవచ్చు కదా అంటే చేసుకుంటా అంటే నీకు కొన్ని ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ ఉన్నాయి. ఒక ప్రాబ్లం ఏంటంటే certain losses computed under the specified section cannot be carried forward for set off in the subsequent year. Carry forward set off is not possible if you file the belated return. Fees under section 234F would be leviable, that is 5,000 when the return is filed after the due date or before 31st of December of assessment year. However, if your total income does not exceed 5 lakh, the fees is 1,000 rupees. So this is practically important, but in examination point of view also they might ask a question. If your total, what if the total income is 4,70,000, something like that, they will ask a question. But if the total income is below 5 lakh rupees, the fees under section 234F is 1,000 rupees, otherwise it is 5,000 rupees. This amendment type in this, so this is not required, they are removed that. Any question with respect to loss return as well as belated return? 139.1 is like your normal thing, 139.3 is your loss return, 139.4 is your belated return. This is loss return, this is belated return. Anybody, any questions so far? See, we will be going much deeper than what you imagine. We have a lot of provisions, that's why I'm rushing it up, and these are all like basic provisions only. We have a nice good provisions at the back end of our session. Okay, so anybody, any questions so far, or are we good to continue? See, keep interacting, only I'll understand how I am. It's like if you're sitting with me, I can out from your face whether you are really understanding or not understanding. Here I'm just looking at a wall. Okay, next, return of income of charitable trust or institution under section 134. We said it, no? 234F is a fees only. Interest will be there. 234A will be there. Interest will be there. 234A, that will be there till the end of the due, from the next day of the due date till you file your return of income. Like your due date is 31st July. Your due date is 31st July. You are filing it on 31st December, right? 234A will also be applicable. 234F also will be applicable. 234A is a interest. 234F is a penalty. And if your total income is more than 5 lakh, it is 5,000. Otherwise, it is 1,000. Yeah. So return of income of charitable trust and institutions. So charitable trust and institutions oka pedda chapter untundi adi, and that is also at a final level. But for time being, what they have to do is before claiming the benefits under section 10, 11 and 12, and if it exceeds more than exceeds the basic exemption limit, that is 2.5 lakh, they need to file the return of income. Okay, so they need to file the return of income. You need not delete the messages. Okay, it's fine, no issues. Nobody will concentrate on that. Yeah, so for a charitable trust and institutions, they also need to file the return of income. Before claiming benefit under section 11 and 12, I have not explained here, so I am not repeating this point, but they have a separate section called section 11 and 12. They have a lot of things, 15% standard, and then they can make some, they were given special privileges in some expenditure. Okay, so before claiming exemption under section 11 and 12, and if it exceeds the basic exemption limit, obviously it will exceed, guys. 2.5 lakh is a very small amount for a charitable institution. You take any charitable institution, any trust, 2.5 lakh is a normal thing, right? So once it is exceed 2.5 lakh, they have to go for an audit also. So that is the reason why their due date will be 31st October, because 2.5 lakh once it exceeds, you will be once you have to file the return of income, because it is exceeding 2.5 lakh. One more provision is that once it exceeds 2.5 lakh, you have to go for an audit. Because you are going for an audit, your due date is not 31st July, it is 31st October. And political party also same thing, guys. Political party also, they will be getting the benefit under section 17A. They also have certain, see, for other people it is section 10. We have a lot of exemptions. For 11 and 12, charitable institutions and these people, they were having exemptions under section 11 and 12. And 13A is for these people, okay, political party, Congress, BJP, or any party that you take, they will be getting the benefits under section 13 years. Actually, they had to invest in some electoral funds or some specified funds. So because they also go for an audit, it is a compulsory. See, while giving the while giving the registration only, they say that you need to get your books of accounts audited. For a political party, auditor is like a small thing and small amount also. So that is the reason why the due date is 31st October. For charitable institution also 31st October, political parties also 31st October. Who has to sign is chief executive officer of a political party. It is not the president, it's not the CM. Don't think like that. Maybe in MCQs they might give it, or spokesperson, not like that. It is the CEO of the political party. They will be first, they should be signing it. Signing ka matlab, it's not like it's not happening like paper wise. You will get the OTP. OTP will be given to his name only. Yeah, mandatory filing of written by research associations, news agencies, trade unions. So these are also need to file their return of income once it exceeds the exemption under section. Once it exceeds basic exemption limit before taking section 10 benefits. Everywhere the point is same, guys. I'm just repeating because in case if it comes for 1 mark also, you will be sure to write it. It should exceed basic exemption limit before taking the benefit under section 10 or 11 to 12 for charitable institutions, 13A for political parties. And for colleges also, it is mandatory to file for every university, college or other institution referred to in clause these section 35, which is not required to furnish the return of income under any other provision, to furnish the return of income in respect of its income or loss in every year. So they are not given basic exemption limit condition for these universities, colleges. It's only for other people they have given this. And filing the return of income by a business trust, this is also at a final level. REIT, InvITs, like we have a lot of other business trusts, they also file their return of income. And filing the return of income by investment funds also, 115 UB, again that's the final topic. They also need to file the return of income compulsorily without any limit. And that's all for section 139(4). I'll just kind of summarize what I said it in case if you lost somewhere, because we are discussing a lot of things, right? 139(1) is like normal, who has to file the return of income, any exemptions are like that. Due date we have already discussed. 139(2) is not there much, so we have excluded that. 139(3) is your loss return, you need to file your return of income loss also. 139(4) your belated return, sorry, 139(3) is a loss return, 4 is for this belated return, sorry, 5 is a belated return, right? Revised return, we are not yet started. So 4C, 4B, these are all charitable institutions and investment trust. Okay, I'm just thinking something else. So now 139(5) is your revised return. 139(5) is revised return. If any person having furnished a return under section 139(1) normal or section 139(4) all charitable institutions के लिए discovers any omission or any wrong statement therein, he may furnish a revised return at any time before 3 months prior to the end of the relevant assessment year or before the completion of assessment year, whichever is earlier. Earlier it was 1 year, but they removed that, 3 months prior to the end of the assessment year. So this is same as your belated return also. And who all can file the revised return? Revised return matlab, you already filed once, but you felt or you forgot the depreciation, you forgot something, or you realized that there was some clerical error or some calculation error, something that you have identified now. Then what they say is that you can revise your return. So whatever you have filed under 139(1) and 139(4). So they are not saying 139(3). Okay, 139(3) is anyway will come under 139(1) only, right? Okay, so it will include 139(3) also. So these returns you will revise it, but belated return you cannot revise. Belated return you will not be revising it. 139(4) belated return you will not be revising it. See how many times you can revise. You can revise n number of times, no issues. Not that you have to revise only once. One example, 31st July, I am filing my return. That is my due date. And 10th of August, I am realizing that I forgot some calculations or I made a mistake in the calculation. I can revise. One more time, 11th of November, I made one more revise the return. That's fine. 31st December tak, I can continue to revise the return provided your assessment is not completed. Sometimes they'll complete the assessment now because of computerized systems. They are doing it much earlier. Earlier they used to take a lot of time, but now they are kind of issuing the refund also. They are doing everything. Before the assessment is completed, before 31st December of the assessment year, you need to file your, you can file your revise the return n number of times, any limit. There is no limit for the number of times that you can revise it. All the details that you have done now, that will go and sit as if you have done it on the original date. Originally I have done it on 31st July, right? So all the changes that I made, that will go and that will be updated from that records only, as if I have made these changes on 31st July. So what are all the particulars I need to submit while filing the return of income? 139.6. It's more into practical aspect, but still, in case if the examiner asks any questions, no, you should be in a position to answer this. Once particulars to be furnished with the return of income in case of an assessee engaged in the business of profession. If it is only profession, take an example of CA profession or CM profession for easy understanding. So what we can do is the report of any audit referred to in section 44 AB. If at all we have to go for an audit, we have to do the audit report also. That is the reason why auditor kind of completes the tax audit before filing the return of income only. Okay. And the particulars of location and style of the principal place where the carries on the business or profession and all the branches thereof. Okay, so you have to tell where is your branch office, where is your principal office, what style of business, like is it an accountancy, consultancy, or audit, or engineering, or whatever the services that you are providing. What is the style of your business? If you are technical or software related, what services that you give, what is the style of your business, plus your principal office as well as your branch offices. The names and addresses of his partners, if any, in the business or profession. So if it is a firm related, no, all the names and addresses of the partners, so that they will check whether that person is also filing the return of income or not. If he is a member of an association or a body of individual, you need to give the names of the other members. Like if I am the member in a AOP, so I have to give the details of other members and what is the share also. So what is the percentage of share each person is getting, because it involves when you are solving this taxation of AOP and BOI, this is more relevant, because if you know the percentage of sharing of each partner and each member of AOP, you will be taxing at a different rate. Otherwise, you will be taxing at a different rate. That we'll discuss in subsequent videos. But for time being, when you are filing your return of income, if you happen to be a profession, you just give the 44 AB if you are going for an audit, and place what is your style of business and what is your principal place of business and your branches, as well as the names and addresses of the partners. And if you are a member of an AOP, what are the other members and what is the profit sharing ratio? These details also you need to submit. And coming to defective returns, so defective return matlab, you file the return of income, but assessing officer realized that you made a mistake somewhere. So if there is a mistake, no, what the assessing officer will tell you is, they'll give you 15 days of time to rectify that mistake. Or within 15 days, if you rectify, that's fine. Or if you cannot rectify within 15 days, you can ask for like a little extension of the period, like because of COVID or because of some time constraint, you are not able to complete it by 15 days. You want one more week or 10 more days, you can request the assessing officer, he will accept it also. Okay. So whenever you rectify your mistake, there is no further action is required, it's fine. But in case if you don't rectify your mistake within like the 15 days or extended period, your return will be treated as if you are not filed the return only. That is called defective return. A return of income shall be regarded as a defective unless all the following conditions are fulfilled. Okay, so in order to save yourself from being called as a defective return, you need to make sure that you give all details, guys. Whatever, see, these are all theoretical, but in reality, when you are filing the return of income, it's all system generated. On a system will not take you to the next step until you provide that detail, if whatever they are asking. But as a student, we cannot say that. We have to understand what all details that we have to give. Annexed statements, columns in the return of income relating to the computation of income chargeable under the each head, computation of gross total income and total income that have been filed in. So all the calculations, annexed statements, columns we have to give, not for normal people. For generally for big entities and corporates who are going for audit, they will be having these annexures and all, depreciation calculation, if there is any sale, all these details you will be giving there for each individual head. The return of income is accompanied by the following, namely a statement showing the computation of tax payable on the basis of the returned income, a report of the audit obtained under section 44A, just now I said it, audit report also should be there with the return of income, the proof regarding the tax paid if any claim to have been deducted or collected at source. So TDS, see, now only I am filing my return of income. When I gave some services to a client, they deducted TDS, right? So that details also I have to provide. Otherwise, how come the government know that who has deducted TDS for me? I cannot simply say TDS deducted in my name is 20 lakh rupees or 2 lakh rupees, whatever. I cannot simply say. I have to give the certificate given by the respective vendor. Okay, so that I have to submit. I mean, I have to provide under filing the return of income for completeness. Okay, so where regular books of accounts are maintained by the assessee, the return of income is accompanied by the following copies of the manufacturing account. If it is like kind of a manufacturing account company, manufacturing account, trading account, profit and loss account, or income and expenditure account, if it is a trust or something like that, any other similar account in the balance sheet, the personal account of the details, something like this. If it is a proprietor, my personal account. What do you mean by that? How much I contributed at the beginning of the year, how much as I contributed in between the year, how much I withdrew, what is the interest on drawings, what is the interest on capital, what is the profit, how much profit I have given. All this will be there in the personal account of the proprietor. If it is a firm, AOP, BOI also, same thing, personal accounts of the partners or the members. Just listen it like a story, guys. Examination, you will remember it. Okay, just listen it with the full attention. That's it. Okay, so I'm not saying like you need to buy hard all these things. You might ask, sir, how much we have to remember. You don't need to remember. Just let it go into your head, that's it. If it is a partner or a member of a firm, association or body of individual, partner's personal account in the firm, members personal account in the association of persons or body of individuals. So this is also same thing. If I'm a partner in a firm, like my ledger in that firm, like how much I contributed, what is the interest, what is the drawing, how much I withdrawn each month, what is the salary. For your section 40B calculation, this will be useful for the department also. Okay. And if you are going for a cost accounting, like your cost audit is important, compulsory for you under section 233B, then the cost audit report also should be submitted there. Where the regular books of accounts are not maintained. So sometimes we don't maintain the books of accounts, you know, right? Like present to taxation, we don't prepare the books of accounts completely. We will not have the double entry system, like you know, trial balance should match. It cannot be like that. For present to taxation people, they won't be maintaining all the books of accounts. Maybe once you go into articleship, you understand this. A lot of people come and say that I need to file my return of income, but I don't maintain anything. I only have bank statement. So being a accountant or a article, with a bank statement only you will be preparing your receipts and payments account, and by that only you will be preparing the income and expenditure account if it's a trust, or income and profit and loss account if it is any other business, and as well as a balance sheet. So what they say is, if you don't have to prepare the books of accounts, when you don't prepare the books of accounts because you are not required under the law, at least you show these details. Okay, the details are like gross receipts, gross profit, expenses, net profit, and then sundry debtors, sundry creditors, stock in trade, cash balance at the beginning of the previous year. These details are very minimal things. These things you need to prepare. Okay, so any question, guys, or are we going so fast? I think I'm getting very less response from you guys, or anywhere that you kind of lost anywhere. Anyone? I'm seeing very less participation from you guys. Or is it that the topic has become too dry? Any point is not clear, or are we good to continue? Okay, So next, PAN, we have a lot of discussion based upon (139.9) defective return. సో డిఫెక్టివ్ రిటర్న్ అంటే ఏంటంటే మీరు రిటర్న్ ఆఫ్ ఇన్కమ్ ఫైల్ చేశారు, కానీ అందులో ఏదో ఒక డాక్యుమెంట్ని కరెక్ట్గా ఇవ్వలేదు, అరిథమెటికల్ మిస్టేక్ చేశారు, లేదంటే డెప్రిసియేషన్లో రిపోర్ట్ ఇవ్వలేదు, ఆడిట్ చేయించుకోవాలి 44AB ప్రకారం చేయించుకున్నారు, కానీ ఆడిట్ రిపోర్ట్ని సబ్మిట్ చేయడం మర్చిపోయారు, కానీ చేశారు కానీ లాస్ట్ ఇయర్ది సబ్మిట్ చేశారు, కరెంట్ ఇయర్ది సబ్మిట్ చేయలేదు. అట్లా ఏదైనా మిస్టేక్ ఉంటే అసెసింగ్ ఆఫీసర్ ఏమంటారంటే ఒక 15 days టైం ఇచ్చేసి బాబు దీన్ని రెక్టిఫై చేయంటాడు. బాబు రెక్టిఫై చేసిన అనేది ఏం నోటీస్లో కాదు, మనకు CBDT పోర్టల్ ఉంటుంది, ఆల్ ఎలక్ట్రానిక్లోనే జరిగిపోతుంది, అక్కడనే వాళ్ళు పంపించేస్తారు. ఇట్స్ అ డిఫెక్టివ్ రిటర్న్, మేము దీనికి రిప్లై ఇవ్వండి అని చెప్పేసి మీరు ఆ రిప్లైని మీరు రెక్టిఫై చేసేస్తే సరిపోద్ది. అంటే ఏ డాక్యుమెంట్ అయితే వాళ్ళు అడిగారో ఇవ్వాల్సిన అవసరం ఉందో నువ్వు ఇవ్వలేదో దెన్ యూ నీడ్ టు సబ్మిట్ ఇట్. ఎగ్జాంపుల్ చెప్తాను, ఇప్పుడు మీరు పార్ట్నర్షిప్ ఫామ్ అనుకుందాం, యూ నీడ్ టు గివ్ ద డీటెయిల్స్ ఆఫ్ ద నెంబర్ ఆఫ్ పార్ట్నర్స్, their profit sharing ratio, their names, their address. You forgot to give that, so their assessing officer is saying that you need to correct these details అని చెప్పేసి మీరు 15 days లోపు దాన్ని కరెక్షన్ చేయాలి. 15 days లోపు మీరు కరెక్షన్ చేయలేకపోయారు బికాస్ ఆఫ్ సమ్ అదర్ రీజన్, దెన్ యూ ఆస్క్ ఫర్ ఎక్స్టెన్షన్ ఆఫ్ టైం లిమిట్. సార్ 15 days సరిపోవట్లేదు, ఒక 1 week ఎక్స్ట్రా ఇవ్వండి, 5 days ఎక్స్ట్రా ఇవ్వండి అని చెప్పి అతను ఇచ్చేస్తాడు, డిపెండింగ్ అపాన్ కేస్. ఇచ్చేసిన తర్వాత వితిన్ దట్ ఎక్స్టెండెడ్ పీరియడ్ మీరు దాన్ని రెక్టిఫై చేసేయాలి. ఒకసారి రెక్టిఫై చేశారంటే దట్ ఈస్ యాజ్ గుడ్ యాజ్ సెక్షన్ 139(1), నథింగ్ హ్యాస్ హ్యాపెండ్ నౌ, అంతే. ఓకే, బట్ ఇన్ కేస్ ఇఫ్ యూ డోంట్ డూ దట్, వాట్ ఎవర్ ద డిఫెక్ట్ ఈస్ దేర్ అండ్ యూ ఆర్ నాట్ రెక్టిఫైయింగ్ ద డిఫెక్ట్, దెన్ ఇట్ విల్ బి లైక్ యాజ్ ఇఫ్ యూర్ నాట్ ఫైల్ ద రిటర్న్ ఆఫ్ ఇన్కమ్ ఓన్లీ. మీరు రిటర్న్ ఆఫ్ ఇన్కమ్ ఫైల్ చేయనట్టే అయిపోద్ది. ఇంకా మళ్ళీ మీకు సెక్షన్ 234A ప్రకారము, 234F ప్రకారము, ఇంకా అన్ని ప్రొవిజన్స్ ప్రకారము, లైక్ యాజ్ ఇఫ్ యూర్ నాట్ ఫైల్ ద రిటర్న్ ఆఫ్ ఇన్కమ్ ఓన్లీ, అంటే లాస్ని కూడా క్యారీ ఫార్వర్డ్ చేసుకోలేరు, అన్నీ వచ్చేస్తాయి. సో దట్ ఈస్ ద రీజన్ వై ఆ CBDT పోర్టల్ని అప్పుడప్పుడు చూస్తూ ఉండాలి. అంటే ఎస్పెషల్లీ ఫర్ కార్పొరేట్స్, దే కీప్ లుకింగ్ ఇన్ టు లైక్ ఇస్ దర్ ఎనీ నోటీస్ ఆర్ ఎనీథింగ్ clarification or any explanation is sought by the CBDT అనేది you have to keep checking the portal. Okay, is it clear now, Krishna? Hello, anyone, any question? Is it too boring? Okay, I'll go to the next one. Yeah, so PAN ki manaku chala discussion undi, so I am not going to discuss everything relating to PAN because that is like a very boring thing, but still maybe you can expect 1 or 2 marks here and there, so I'll be touching upon the important points. What they say is when you need to apply for the PAN, every person, if his total income or total income of any other person, like clubbing provision के हिसाब से, of which is assessable under the act during the previous year exceeds the maximum amount which is not chargeable to tax. అంటే బేసిక్ ఎగ్జంప్షన్ లిమిట్ దాటగానే, ద మూమెంట్ యువర్ బేసిక్ ఎగ్జంప్షన్ లిమిట్ ఈస్ ఎక్సీడింగ్, యూ నీడ్ టు అప్లై ఫర్ ఎ PAN. యూ నీడ్ టు అప్లై ఫర్ ఎ PAN బై మేకింగ్ అన్ అప్లికేషన్ ఆన్ ఆర్ బిఫోర్ 31st May. అంటే 31st May అంటే అర్థం ఏంటి, ఇప్పుడు ఏ ఇయర్లో అయితే మీకు బేసిక్ ఎగ్జంప్షన్ లిమిట్ ప్రీవియస్ ఇయర్లో అయిపోగానే మీకు 2.5 lakh దాటిందని అనిపిస్తుందో, ఏప్రిల్ మే అంటే 2 months టైం ఉంది. యూ హ్యావ్ ఓన్లీ 2 months ఆఫ్ టైమ్ టు అప్లై మేక్ అన్ అప్లికేషన్ ఫర్ PAN. ఓకే, every person carrying on a business or profession whose sales or turnover or gross receipts are likely to exceed 5 lakh in any previous year before the end of the financial year. So if you have started a business and you feel that there is a possibility that your sales would be more than 5 lakh, the moment you get that thought, you before the end of the previous financial year only, you need to make an application. And naakenti sir ante if you happen to be a business, you will have your own PAN. Okay, company ke liye oka separate PAN untundi, ఫర్మ్కి వెళ్ళి ఫర్మ్ కెపాసిటీలో ఉంటుంది, ఏఓపికి సపరేట్గా ఉంటుంది, వాట్ ఎవర్ ద కేస్ మే బీ. ఇఫ్ ఇట్ ఈస్ ఎ బిజినెస్, యూ స్టార్టెడ్ ఎ బిజినెస్ అండ్ ద టర్న్ ఓవర్ ఈస్ మోర్ దెన్ 5 lakh rupees, యూ నీడ్ టు అప్లై ఫర్ ఎ PAN. 4A trust, they also need to apply their PAN before the end of the financial year. And every person being a resident other than individual who enters into a financial transaction of an amount aggregating 2.5 lakh or more in a year. So you are entering into a contract and the contract value is more than 2.5 lakh. Within 2 months you also need to file you also need to make an application for PAN. I'm repeating, you are just entering into a contract and the contract value is 2.5 lakh rupees or more, you need to make an application for PAN. It's a simple thing, కానీ బుక్లో ఉంది కదా చదువుతున్నాం అంతే. ఓకే, Every person who is managing director or a trustee or a author or a founder or a karta or a chief executive officer, principal officer or office bearer of any person referred above, you need to file for an application within 31st May. Just remember 2 months, April, May, end of the May varku. If you are a managing director or a partner or a trustee or a author or a founder or a karta, chief executive officer, ఏదైనా కానీ you make an application for a PAN. నెక్స్ట్ కొన్ని అమెండ్మెంట్స్ జరిగాయి. అమెండ్మెంట్స్ ఏంటి అంటే దీస్ ఆర్ ఆల్ అమెండ్మెంట్స్. సో మీ హ్యావ్ మోర్ కాన్సన్ట్రేషన్ హియర్. వెన్ ఐ సే ఇంపార్టెంట్, ఐఎమ్ నాట్ సింప్లీ సేయింగ్ బికాస్ ఐ వాంట్ టు సే సంథింగ్. దీస్ ఆర్ ఆల్ థింగ్స్ విచ్ వర్ మేడ్ or amended by CBDT. They gave with the clarifications and all. So expect a question on these kind of a questions, not like that chutke simple questions. Here you can expect a question. Every person who intends to deposit cash in his one or more accounts with a banking company or a cooperative bank or a post office, if the aggregate amounts of such cash deposited in such accounts during the financial year is 20 lakh or more, అంటే మీరు జస్ట్ బ్యాంక్లో వెళ్ళి డిపాజిట్ చేయాలనుకుంటున్నారు, you are just trying to deposit in a bank. So what you need to do is at least 7 days before the date on which the intends to deposit cash over 20 lakh rupees. 20 lakh రూపీస్ కన్నా ఎక్కువ క్యాష్ డిపాజిట్ చేయాలి అనుకుంటే మీరు ఒక 7 days ముందైనా సరే, ఎందుకంటే 7 daysలో వాళ్ళు నీకు ప్యాన్ ఇస్తారని అర్థం అక్కడ. ఓకే, దట్ ఇస్ ద మీనింగ్ ఆఫ్ ఇట్. సో యూ నీడ్ టు మేక్ అన్ అప్లికేషన్ ఫర్ ప్యాన్ ఇఫ్ యు ఆర్ జస్ట్ డిపాజిటింగ్ మోర్ దెన్ 20 lakh రూపీస్ ఇన్ ఏ బ్యాంక్, వన్ ఆర్ మోర్ బ్యాంక్. మనకు తెలివిలు ఎక్కువ కదా, 4 బ్యాంక్ అకౌంట్లో ఇందులో 10 లక్షలు పెట్టాలని అనుకుంటాం. వాళ్ళు దే విల్ క్యాచ్ హోల్డ్ ఆఫ్ యూ. డోంట్ వరీ అబౌట్ ఇట్. వీ హ్యావ్ లాట్ ఆఫ్ అదర్ సిస్టమ్స్, సో దే విల్ క్యాచ్ హోల్డ్ ఆఫ్ యూ. సో 20 lakhs కన్నా ఎక్కువ మీరు డిపాజిట్ చేయాలనుకుంటే యూ నీడ్ టు మేక్ అన్ అప్లికేషన్ ఫర్ ప్యాన్. Every person who intends to withdraw cash from his one or more accounts of a banking company or a cooperative bank or post office, if the aggregate amounts of cash withdrawal from such account during the financial year is 20 lakh rupees or more. సో మీరు బ్యాంక్లో నుంచి డిపాజిట్ చేయాలనుకున్నా సేమ్, విత్డ్రా చేయాలనుకున్నా సార్ మీరు డిపాజిట్ అయింది విత్డ్రా ఎట్లా అవుతుంది సార్ అంటే ఏదో ఒక విధంగా నీ బ్యాంక్ అకౌంట్లో వచ్చి పడి ఉండొచ్చు, దాన్ని విత్డ్రా చేయాలనుకుంటున్నాం. సంబడి మైట్ హ్యావ్ ట్రాన్స్ఫర్ ఇట్ టు యూ, రైట్? సో యూ నీడ్ టు మేక్ అన్ అప్లికేషన్ ఫర్ PAN. Any person who intends to open a current account or a cash credit account with a banking company or a cooperative banking, వాళ్ళు కూడా. సో you are trying to deposit more than 20 lakh rupees or more, or you are withdrawing from bank or cooperative society 20 lakh rupees or more, you need to make an application for PAN 7 days before you intend to do that. And if you are trying to open a credit current account, you are also need to make an application for PAN 7 days before that. And quoting of PAN is mandatory for transactions prescribed under Rule 114B. So what does they mean is that whatever the communication that you make it to the CBDT, you have to quote your PAN in every transaction. Okay, so that is like procedural, nothing to discuss here. There are few more places where you need to go for a PAN. So I'm not reading all those things, but wherever it is kind of absolutely important, I'm going that. Payment to hotel, this color is not good. Payment to hotel or restaurant against a bill or a bills at any one time, and the cash payment is more than 50,000. సో మీరు ఒక హోటల్కి వెళ్ళేసేసి 50,000 కన్నా ఎక్కువ బిల్ చేస్తారంటే 50,000 కన్నా ఎక్కువ తింటాడు సార్ అని అనకండి. we can have that expenditure if it is a corporate events or something like that, and lot of people are coming and you are making a lot of arrangements, and if the amount is more than 50,000, you need to quote your PAN. Payment in connection with the travel to any foreign country or payment of purchase of any foreign currency at any one time, and the amount is exceeding 50,000 rupees. Ante you are trying to transfer money from India to some other country or some other country to India, you are withdrawing the money, whatever the case may be, 50,000 దాటిందంటే you need to quote your PAN. Quote అంటే జిరాక్స్ కాపీ ఇవ్వాలి, సింపుల్గా చెప్పాలంటే. ఓకే. Payment to mutual fund 50,000 దాటితే you have to do that. Payment to a company or institution acquiring debentures 50,000 దాటితే. Payment to Reserve Bank of India 50,000 దాటితే. Deposit with a banking company 50,000, 1 day 50,000 కన్నా ఎక్కువ డిపాజిట్ చేయాలనుకున్నా you need to quote your PAN. DD తీసుకోవాలనుకున్నా 50,000 దాటితే. టైం డిపాజిట్ చేయాలన్నా 50,000 దాటితే. ఇంకా చాలా వరకు 50,000 ఉంది. ఇంకేదైనా చూద్దాం. ఇన్సూరెన్స్ పాలసీ 50,000 దాటితే, కాంట్రాక్ట్ ఫర్ సేల్ ఆఫ్ పర్చేస్ ఆఫ్ సెక్యూరిటీస్ 1 lakh దాటితే, లైక్ యువర్ ట్రైంగ్ షేర్స్, సేల్ అండ్ పర్చేస్ ఆఫ్ ఎనీ పర్సన్ షేర్స్ ఆఫ్ ఎ కంపెనీ నాట్ లిస్టెడ్ ఇన్ ద రికగ్నైజ్డ్ స్టాక్ ఎక్స్చేంజ్ 1 lakh దాటితే, ఇమ్మూవబుల్ ప్రాపర్టీ కొనుక్కుంటే 10 lakh rupees స్టాంప్ డ్యూటీ వాల్యూ దాటితే. ఓకే, సో కార్ కొనాలనుకుంటున్నా, పెద్ద కార్, ఇఫ్ యూఆర్ ట్రైంగ్ టు పర్చేస్ ఎ కార్ అండ్ ద కార్ వాల్యూ is more than 10 lakh rupees or stamp duty value of any other asset. Okay, it's a immovable property, right? It's a land. 10 lakhs are there, you need to code your PAN. If in case you happen to be a minor, you have to code the PAN of your parent or a guardian. Okay, if someone is not having parents, they can code the PAN of the guardian. What happened, guys? Everybody has become so chill. So we will start with a nice topic. Yeah, this is like becoming bore. Declaration by a person not having a PAN. If you don't have a PAN, you have to go with the form 60. This is like maybe MCQs may you can expect one question on this. Okay, it will not be applicable. This is also exception. Examination may you can expect a mark on this. If you are like a state government or central government or a consular offices, you and a non-resident in some cases, you need not code the PAN also. Whenever someone is deducting the TDS, you need to give your PAN to that person so that he will deduct it at a exact rate, otherwise he will be deducting at a higher rate. Okay, and interchangeability of PAN with the Aadhaar number. What is that? If you don't have a PAN, when you don't have a PAN also, you can deposit your Aadhaar card number. That will be treated as if you have made an application for PAN and they will be giving it. That is called interchangeability of this. I am not discussing more on this. PAN ఆధార్ని లింక్ చేయాలి అవి ఇవని చెప్తా ఉన్నారు. అది డేట్ ఇంకా ఎక్స్టెండ్ అవుతూనే ఉంది. బట్ దే ఆర్ గివెన్ సంథింగ్, ఇఫ్ యూ నాట్ డన్ దిస్ లైక్ 3 months before the end of this date, 500 rupees, otherwise it is 1000 rupees. It is still applicable if someone is not linking that. And coding of the PAN is not applicable in few cases. This is also important from examination point of view. One is you are residing in Assam, Jammu and Kashmir and Meghalaya, and you are a non-resident, or your age is more than 80 years during the previous year, and you are not a citizen of India. So these are the exceptions where you need not code your PAN. And we have something called 193B, tax return preparers. So we need some help, right? So we, instead of going to chartered accountant or a CMA, they will be charging good amount, right? So you have something called who are not qualified, maybe you are done intermediate level or any graduate. They can be a tax return preparers, so they can help you in preparing your return of income. A tax return preparer can be an individual other than an officer of a scheduled bank. So if you are getting a job in a bank, okay, so you are officer in a bank, so you cannot be a tax return preparer with which the assessee maintains a current account or has other regular dealings. అంటే ఇప్పుడు SBI ఉంది, SBIలో నాకు ఒక కరెంట్ అకౌంట్ ఉంది, ఓకే, ఆర్ ఒక అకౌంట్ ఉంది. ఆ బ్యాంక్లో ఉండే ఆఫీసర్ that officer cannot be tax return preparer for my return of income, okay, because he might influence me or there will be an independence issue. And the legal practitioner who is entitled to practice in any civil court of India is also not entitled for a tax return preparers. An accountant, like a chartered accountant, is also not eligible for this. Employee of a specified classes of the persons also not eligible for this. Okay, this I explained just now. What are the educational qualifications of a tax return preparers? An individual who holds a bachelor degree from a recognized Indian university or institution, or has passed the intermediate level of examination conducted by ICAI or ICSI or ICMAI. So interlevel ఉన్న వాళ్ళు కూడా they can go for tax return preparers. An eligible person may, at his option, furnish his return of income under section 139B for any assessment year after getting it prepared through tax return preparer. You కావాలనుకుంటే ఇతను హెల్ప్ తీసుకొని you can ask him to prepare on your behalf of. However, the following eligible persons, an individual or HUF, cannot furnish the return of income of an assessee year assessment year through tax return preparers. There are certain exceptions. Not that everybody can go to tax return preparers. They are who is carrying on the business or profession during the previous year and accounts of the business or profession for that previous year are required to be audited. So once your books of accounts are required to be audited, you cannot go with the tax return preparers. You go for a chartered accountant only. He will do the audit and he will do that filing and whatever you call it. Okay, who is not a resident of India. So non-resident also cannot obtain the services of a tax return preparers. An eligible person cannot furnish a revised return of income for any assessment year through tax return preparers unless he furnished the original assessment year through such any other tax return preparers. అంటే నువ్వు ఒరిజినల్గా చేసినప్పుడు ట్యాక్స్ రిటర్న్ ప్రిపేరర్తోనే చేయించుకుంటే సబ్సిక్వెంట్లీ రివైజ్డ్ కూడా వాళ్ళతోనే చేయించుకోవచ్చు. అదర్వైజ్ ఇట్ ఈస్ నాట్ పాసిబుల్. పర్సన్స్ ఆథరైజ్డ్ టు వెరిఫై ద రిటర్న్ అంటే మనము సైన్ చేయాలి కదా, ఎవరు సైన్ చేయాలంటే ఓటీపీ ఎవరికి వస్తుంది, ఆధార్ వెరిఫికేషన్ కానీ ఎవరికి వస్తుంది అంటే ఇఫ్ యు ఆర్ అన్ ఇండివిజువల్ వాడే చేసుకోవాలి, ఇండివిజువల్ హిమ్సెల్ఫ్. వేర్ ఈజ్ యాబ్సెంట్ ఫ్రమ్ ఇండియా, ఇండియాలో లేకుంటే వాడే చేసుకోవాలంటే ఈ హ్యాస్ టు కమ్ బ్యాక్ అండ్ డూ ఇట్. బట్ అది పాసిబుల్ కాకపోతే ఎనీ పర్సన్ డ్యూలీ ఆథరైజ్డ్ బై హిమ్ ఇన్ దిస్ బిహాఫ్ హ్యావింగ్ ఎ వ్యాలిడ్ పవర్ ఆఫ్ అటార్నీ. అంటే ఇప్పుడు నేను యూఎస్కి వెళ్తాప్పుడు ఐ హ్యావ్ టు స్పెసిఫికలీ సే విత్ వ్యాలిడ్ పవర్ ఆఫ్ అటార్నీ దట్ ఐఎమ్ గివింగ్ మై రైట్ టు ఆర్ ద పవర్ టు సైన్ టు సమ్మన్ అని చెప్పేసి పవర్ ఆఫ్ అటార్నీ కూడా ఇవ్వాలి. సో వెన్ ఈజ్ ఫైలింగ్ రిటర్న్ ఆఫ్ ఇన్కమ్ యూ విల్ అటాచ్ దట్ పవర్ ఆఫ్ అటార్నీ ఆల్సో. Okay, if I am mentally retarded or incapacitated, my guardian or any other person are competent as per the act, they will be signing it. Power of CBDT to dispense of with the furnishing documents with the etc. with the return and filing the return in electronic form. So generally we said, right, annexures, documents, statements, ivanni pampinchalani. So everything you cannot submit. See, if I am making a ATC investment, ATD investment, so many investments are there, right? So not that every investment details or every expenditure detail I have to submit in the CBDT portal. What they say is, whenever they ask, you should be ready to give it. You maintain with yourself. You need not you give it. That is what the power given to CBDT, and they said it also. You need not submit all the documents there. You keep it with you whenever ready, whenever we require. For more information, we will be asking it from you, Bulke. Updated return of income. This is like an amendment. Who is there, guys? This is an amendment, and who wants this to be explained slowly with the concentration, because I can say very less people, so I am also kind of lost somewhere. There is a concept of updated return. Okay, I'll explain this one. Be whatever. So there is a concept called within 24 months from the end of the relevant assessment year, you can update your return. What do you mean by update return? So revised return is something that you are doing until 31st of December of assessment year only, right? But update return is something that you can do after that, after end of the assessment year. But the thing is that within 12 months, if you do that within 12 months, you will be paying 25% of additional tax. If you are doing that between, you are doing this between 12 months to 24 months, with example also I will be giving it, you will be paying 50% additional tax. Example, okay, FY 2021-22 के लिए what is this is a assessment year, you take it. This is assessment year. So this will end on 31st March 2022, right? So what they are saying is within 24 months बोले तो 31st March 2024 तक I can update the return. So you might say that, right, sir, instead of filing the return on time or filing within belated return or delayed return or whatever, you can file it within 24 months. So like government is giving 24 months more to file the return of income, right? So but the catchy point here is that whenever you are filing the update return, no, it should be income only. You cannot show it a loss. So what do you mean by that? For assessment year 21-22, for assessment year 21 and 22, I showed my total income of 10 lakh rupees. Okay. Now, when I update my return, assuming that I am doing it on 31st March 2024, okay, when I am updating my return, I cannot say my total income is 8 lakh. I cannot reduce the tax liability. Government is like, it is for my benefit, boss, not for your benefit. If you have forgotten something, you don't want any scrutiny or anything of that sort, or any search or anything like that, you already filed the return. Genuinely, under section 139(1), you filed the return, that's fine. But you now realize that there was something mistake that you have done, you want to show it to the government before it is too late, you can come up with that within 24 months. Okay, but 24 months lo endi ikkada concept enti ante, you could have filed the return of income under 139(1), or you could have not filed. In both cases it is possible. But the thing is that you should only show increase of liability. Other way, if it is a refund, I claimed refund in that year, like assessment year 21-22 ke liye, I claimed 50,000 as a refund. I cannot say that now I want a refund of 60,000. Yes, Pujita, correct. So this is not possible. Refund ni penchuta ante vaadu oppukodu, na tax liability ni tagginchukunta ante oppukodu. They will not okay with that. Okay, take one more example. There is a loss return. I filed loss return of 10 lakh. For 21-22, I already filed under section 139(3) or 139(3 ante 139(1) prakaram, as good as 139(1). But now I am like, okay, I want to update the return with the income of 5 lakh. Is it possible? Yes. Government daniki ready untundi. Appudu last return file chestav. Only increase in liability, only if it is beneficial to the government, they will let you revise the return or update the return. Only if it is beneficial to them, they will let you revise the return. I am using the word revise, update the return. See, for FY 21 and 22, my loss return was 10 lakh. Now I am updating my return with 5 lakh income. Is it possible? Yes, it is possible. But the thing is that this is for FY 2021 to 22, right? So this loss return I might have carried forward to the next year. That's what we have studied yesterday only. If you are having a loss, you will carry forward to the next year because I am filing on time. So this FY 2021 ke liye, that was a loss return. So FY 2022-23 ke liye, I might have carried forward, right? So I need to revise the subsequent period return also. I will repeat one more time. For FY 21-22, I got a loss, but now 23-24 ke liye I want to update it. Is it possible? Yes, provided if it is a loss, it should be income. Is it possible? Yes. Now second thing, there was a loss for FY 21-22. Am I eligible to be updated? Yes, you can update the return. But now second thing, FY 2022-23 ke liye, you might have carried forward the last year's loss, right? So that return also need to be updated. From loss return to income return, if you are trying to bring it, subsequent year ke liye also you need to update your return, because you might have carried forward, right? That will be giving the wrong picture in the subsequent year. One thing. So the concept is not at over. Like listen to the entire point. So for 31st March 2022 ke liye, I can update it by 31st March 2024. If I do it within first 12 months, I need to pay additional tax at the rate of 25%. Sir, only 25%? No. What you would have paid total tax after all, whatever is eligible, like credit and everything, interest, penalty, 234A, 234F, any other provision, any other penalty, everything you calculate. If it coming to 100 rupees, no, you have to pay 125 rupees plus surcharge plus health and education cess if the limits are crossing. Hope it is clear. This 25% is not only 25%, original plus additional 25%. And now if you do it between 12 months to 24 months, no, this additional tax will be 50%, original 100 rupees plus 50 rupees. Sir, losses carry forward అయితే income తగ్గుతుంది sir, then tax liability may decrease. No, take this example, Pujita. Take this example, FI 20, FI అనే వర్డ్ యూజ్ చేయాలి కానీ అసెస్మెంట్ ఇయర్ అనే వర్డ్ యూజ్ చేస్తాను. అసెస్మెంట్ ఇయర్ 2021, 22 ఐఎమ్ హ్యావింగ్ ఏ లాస్, బిజినెస్ లాస్ అనుకుందాం, లాస్ ఆఫ్ 10 lakh rupees. అసెస్మెంట్ ఇయర్ 22, 23కి ఐఎమ్ హ్యావింగ్ ఏ బిజినెస్ profit of 25 lakh rupees. Then what I would have done, this loss I would have brought forward business loss అని చెప్పేసేసి I would have set off this 10 lakh and my total income would have been 15 lakh. దీనిపైన 30% ఆ రేట్ ప్రకారం I would have paid the tax. Okay, but now assessment year 23-24కి I want to update the return. ఏది అప్డేట్ చేయాలనుకుంటున్నాను, ఐ వాంట్ టు అప్డేట్ ద రిటర్న్ ఆఫ్ అసెస్మెంట్ ఇయర్ 21-22కి సంబంధించిన ఇన్కమ్ని ఐ వాంట్ టు అప్డేట్ విత్ ఇన్కమ్ ఆఫ్ 5 lakh. ఓకే, మైనస్ 10 lakh నుంచి ప్లస్ 5 lakh తీసుకురావాలనుకుంటున్నాను. అంటే 5 lakhs పైన నేను ఇప్పుడు ట్యాక్స్ కట్టి ప్లస్ అగైన్ దానిపైన ఒక ఎన్ని మంత్స్ 25% అడిషనల్ ట్యాక్స్ కట్టాలనుకుంటున్నాను. ఐఎమ్ రిపీటింగ్, ఫ్రమ్ -5 lakh టు ప్లస్ -10 lakh, సారీ మై కాన్సన్ట్రేషన్, -10 lakh టు ప్లస్ 5 lakh నేను తీసుకురావాలనుకుంటున్నాను. అంటే ఐఎమ్ ఇంక్రీజింగ్ ద ఇన్కమ్ బై 15 lakh. 15 lakhs పైన నేను ఇప్పుడు ట్యాక్స్ ఆఫర్ చేయడానికి రెడీగా ఉన్నాను. సో వాట్ దే ఆర్ సేయింగ్ is it allowed? Yes, it is allowed. See, income tax के लिए it is a profit, right? Whenever it is a profit of the income tax, it is allowed. So is it allowed? Yes, it is allowed. But there is one more condition. But this 10 lakhs, whatever you set as a carry forward loss, no, you carried forward to the next year, you set off with this, right? So you need to update this as well. Update this as well. Is it clear or not so clear? If I'm carry forward, if I'm updating a particular year's loss, I need to update the subsequent year's return also, because the same thing would have been carried forward to the subsequent years. Anyone? I know very few people are still there, but it's okay. I want to complete this because I started it. Guys, is it clear? Clear? Only one person is there, huh? Okay, clear, right? Correct. But there are having lot of other conditions as well. I will try to explain you as simply as possible. One thing, end of the financial year, end of the assessment year, say 24 months taki you can do that updation of the return. Okay, yes, correct. You need to update this, no? So when you are updating, he will not be having this luxury of 10 lakh. So he will be paying tax on 25 lakhs only. Bole to 15 lakhs he already offered. Now he will calculate it on 25 lakhs. Whatever he already paid, that will be deducted. Remaining amount he will pay, and remaining may plus 25%. Okay. But circumstances in which updated return cannot be furnished. There are exceptions when you cannot update your return of income, and these are exceptions to your update return chapter. And I would say this is important more than what I just said. This is more important. They would ask a question: is it possible for such a person to update his return of income which he feels that he wants to update? Okay, there are certain specific people. The people are like, whenever there is a raid, ఇన్కమ్ ట్యాక్స్ రేట్ అని అంటాం కదా, సర్చ్, సీజర్, రిక్వజిషన్, దీస్ ఆర్ ఆల్ ఫైనల్ ఇయర్ ఫైనల్ కాన్సెప్ట్స్. బట్ ఐఎమ్ టెలింగ్ యూ ఇన్ ఏ లూసిడ్ మేనర్. సెక్షన్ 132, 132A and 133A. search, seizure, requisition and రిక్వజిషన్ అండ్ సర్వే 3 ఉంటాయి. సో ఈ సెక్షన్స్ ప్రకారము మీ దగ్గర ఏదైనా జరిగినప్పుడు యూ కెన్ నాట్ అప్డేట్ యువర్ థింగ్స్ బికాస్ యాజ్ పర్ దట్ సెక్షన్ ఓన్లీ దే విల్ బి క్యాలిక్యులేటింగ్ ఎవ్రీథింగ్. దెర్ విల్ బి మోర్ పీనల్ ప్రొవిజన్స్, దెర్ విల్ బి మోర్ అదర్ క్యాలిక్యులేషన్స్. సో దిస్ income tax updated concept or updation concept is not available if there is any search or seizure or requisition అంటే కూడా ఒక కాన్సెప్ట్ ఉంటుంది. ఈ 3 ఏదైనా మీకు జరిగితే ఆ ఇయర్కి సంబంధించి యూ కెన్ నాట్ అప్డేటెడ్. ఎగ్జాంపుల్ అసెస్మెంట్ ఇయర్ 21-22లో దీనికి సంబంధించి ఒక సెర్చ్ జరిగింది. ఓకే, రిక్వజిషన్ సెర్చ్ సర్వే అని అంటారు. ఈ ఇయర్లో జరిగింది అనుకుందాం. దీనికి సబ్సిక్వెంట్ ఇయర్లో ఐ కెన్ నాట్ అప్డేట్ ఎనీథింగ్. ఒక్కసారి మీకు ఆ మచ్చ పడింది అంటే యూ కెన్ నాట్ అప్డేట్ ఎనీథింగ్. ఓకే, in case of a person where search has been initiated under section 132 or books of accounts or other documents or any other assets are requisitioned under section 133A or where a survey has been conducted under section 133A other than survey conducted in relation to TDS and TCS. TDS and TCS is an exception to exception. And even when there is a survey for TDS and TCS, you can still update. That is a very small thing, so no issues. But coming to the point, if there is any search or requisition or survey other than TDS and TCS, you cannot furnish update return for assessment year relevant to the previous year in which the search is initiated. ఏ ఇయర్లో అయితే సెర్చ్ ఇనిషియేట్ జరిగిందో ఆ ఇయర్కి యూ కెనాట్ అప్డేట్ ఆర్ సర్వే ఇస్ కండక్టెడ్ ఆర్ రిక్వజిషన్ ఇస్ మేడ్. వేరే నోటీస్ హ్యాస్ బిన్ ఇష్యూడ్ అండర్ టు దిస్ ఎఫెక్ట్. ఓకే, మీకు నోటీస్ వచ్చినప్పటికి కూడా ఫర్ దట్ ఆల్సో ఫర్ ఎనీ అసెస్మెంట్ ఇయర్ ప్రిసీడింగ్ సచ్ అసెస్మెంట్ ఇయర్. జస్ట్ నో ఐ సెడ్ ఇట్. ఏ ఇయర్కి అయితే మీకు సర్వే సర్చ్ సీజర్ అండ్ రిక్వజిషన్ జరిగిందో దాని సక్సీడింగ్ ఇయర్లో కూడా ఓకే ప్రిసీడింగ్ ఐ జస్ట్ సెడ్ ఇట్ రాంగ్. ప్రిసీడింగ్ అంటే బ్యాక్వర్డ్స్. ప్రిసీడింగ్ ఇయర్లో కూడా మీకు అప్డేషన్ జరగదు. ఈ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ వస్తే ఇందాక చెప్పింది నేను జస్ట్ ఒక రివర్స్లో చెప్పాను. అసెస్మెంట్ ఇయర్ 2021-22 2023. This is an amendment, guys. So okay, this is the latest amendment, so you can expect a question on this. If there is a search and seizure for this, right, so in backwards lo vachina a year lo kuda you cannot update it. అండ్ ఇంకొకటి ఏంటంటే కొన్ని యాక్ట్స్ ప్రకారం మనకి ఏంటంటే ప్రివెన్షన్ ఆఫ్ మనీ లాండరింగ్ యాక్ట్ ప్రకారం మీరు ఏదైనా తప్పు చేసినట్టు బయటపడ్డా, లేదంటే స్మగుల్స్ అండ్ ఫారెన్ ఎక్స్చేంజ్ మ్యానిపులేషన్ ప్రకారం కానీ, లేకుంటే బ్లాక్ మనీ యాక్ట్ ప్రకారం కానీ, ఈ యాక్ట్ ప్రకారమైనా మీకు ఏదైనా ఒక ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ వచ్చింది మీకు సంబంధించి మీరు ఏదో తప్పు చేస్తున్నట్టు అని వచ్చినప్పుడు కూడా మీరు అప్డేట్ చేయలేరు. ఓకే, ఎందుకంటే అవన్నీ చాలా సీరియస్ ప్రొవిజన్స్, అక్కడే డీల్ చేస్తారు వాటి కోసం. So how many of you are there? And guys, any one of you are from CA or CMA final so far who are watching? Because 140, 142, 142A, 140 ఇవన్నీ ఫైనల్ సంబంధించి ఎక్కువ ఇంపార్టెంట్. ఎనీబడి? ఓకే, మీన్ వైల్ ఐ విల్ బి కంప్లీటింగ్ దిస్ 140A. దిస్ ఈస్ కాల్డ్ సెల్ఫ్ అసెస్మెంట్. సెల్ఫ్ అసెస్మెంట్ అంటే నీ అంతలో నువ్వుగానే అసెస్మెంట్ చేస్తున్నావు. సో వాట్ యూ whenever you are doing that self assessment under section 139 or 142 or 142A. 142 is like scrutiny assessment అవి అందులో వస్తాయి. 148 is your income escapement assessment. మీరు ఎప్పుడైతే ట్యాక్స్ పే చేస్తారో యూ కెన్ టేక్ ద బెనిఫిట్స్ ఆఫ్ సెక్షన్ 89, 90, 91, 91, 115, 115J. I explained this concept, right? You will take the credit of everything, TDS, TCS. If someone has deducted TDS, that also you will take the credit, TCS, MAT, AMT provisions, so double taxation avoidance agreement, అన్ని credits తీసుకొని you will be paying it. This concept I explained. I think this is important for you also in examination. If you update your return within 12 months, no, 25% you will pay additional tax. If you do it between 12 to 24 months, 15% aggregate tax you will end up paying it. There is one illustration on this, so I would like to take this illustration and let's see if you can answer this. Mr. X would like to furnish his updated return for this year. So assessment year 21-22 ki update చేయాలనుకుంటున్నాడు. In case he furnished his updated return of income, he would be liable to pay 2.5 lakhs towards the tax and 35,000 towards the interest after adjusting tax and interest paid at the time of filing earlier return. You are required to examine whether Mr. X can furnish the updated return. So now the question is he eligible to update it? So మనం ఏమనుకున్నాము, అసెస్మెంట్ ఇయర్ 2021 to 22 అన్నాము. అంటే ఎండ్ ఇయర్ ఎప్పుడు ఎండ్ అవుతుంది, 31st March 2022. సో ఈ కెన్ అప్డేట్ ఇట్ బై ద ఎండ్ ఆఫ్ 24 months, right? So 31st March 2024 tak he can update it. When is he trying to update? As on 31st March. So is it allowed? Yes, he is allowed. 28th February 2024, that is also allowed. 31st May, this is not allowed. Exam lo మీరు ఈ పాయింట్ని రాయొచ్చు. If yes, compute the amount of additional income tax payable by Mr. X. Additional income tax ఏమన్నా within 12 months చేస్తే, అసెస్మెంట్ ఇయర్ ఎండ్ అయిన తర్వాత 12 months లోపు చేస్తే 25% అడిషనల్ కట్టాలి. అంటే ఇప్పుడు ఇయర్ ఎండ్ ఎప్పుడు అవుతుంది, when the year is ending 31st March 2022. When is he doing 31st March 2023? అంటే 12 months లోపే చేస్తున్నాడు కదా. సో you'll be paying for first point number 1, 25% of additional tax 2.5 lakh plus 35,000. సో 2.5 అంటే 2,85,000 ఎంతైతే వస్తుందో దానిలో 25% he has to pay the additional tax. Coming to the second point, it is within 24 months, between 12 months to 24 months కాబట్టి he will be paying 50% of the same 2,85,000 as a additional tax. Here he is not eligible to update the return only. Any question with respect to in examination, they might not ask you a theoretical question, they might ask you a illustrative question, okay, problem related question. So anybody is having any question with respect to this? Whoever is watching, I know the crowd today is very less. Anyone? Clear? Okay. So there is a concept called inquiry before assessment. They will do inquiry, and whenever they have a doubt about your transactions, your genuine expenditure, like your incurring expenditure which is not required for you, something like that, they will be asking you for a inquiry. Okay, so that is just like an income tax department notice. People keep saying it, no, I got a notice from department notice. That is your 142(1). For the purpose of making an assessment, the assessing officer may serve on any person who has made a return of income under section 139, that is a normal return, or in whose case the time allowed has been expired. A notice under section 132 can be given. Purpose for which such notice can be served or depicted. So enduku ఆ నోటీస్ ఇవ్వచ్చు, ఏ టైంలో ఇస్తారంటే, in case where a person has not filed the return of income under section 139(1) or before the end of the relevant assessment year. సో మనం ఏమనుకున్నామో, వాడు బిలేటెడ్ రిటర్న్ ఫైల్ చేయడానికి మనకి డేట్ ఏముండే, ఇప్పుడు మనము ప్రీవియస్ ఇయర్ 2022 to 23 ఎగ్జాంపుల్ తీసుకుందాం. వాడు ఎప్పుడు రిటర్న్ ఫైల్ చేయాల్సింది, అజ్యూమింగ్ దట్ దెర్ ఇస్ నో ఆడిట్, 31st July వరకు వాడు ఆడిట్ రిటర్న్ ఫైల్ చేయాల్సింది. అదర్వైజ్ 31st December 23 వరకు రిటర్న్ ఫైల్ చేయాల్సింది. సో 139(1) ప్రకారం టైం అయిపోయింది, బిలేటెడ్ రిటర్న్ కూడా టైం అయిపోయింది, వాడు రిటర్న్ ఇంకా ఫైల్ చేయట్లేదు అంటే దే విల్ బి ఆస్కింగ్ హిమ్ టు బాబు furnish the return అని చెప్పి పంపిస్తారు. సో దే వీఆర్ ఆస్కింగ్ హిమ్ టు ఫర్నిష్ ద రిటర్న్. దే విల్ వెయిట్ ఫర్ యువర్ 139(1) టు ఎండ్ అండ్ యువర్ sometimes they give reminders. Reminder is different, notice is different. Reminder is like టైం అయిపోతుంది, డే అయిపోతుంది, కట్టండి అని. అండ్ notice is like you have to give it, like it's like order. Assessing officer shall not inquire production of any accounts relating to a period more than 3 years. Sometimes what they see is Sampath, you provide your books of accounts, లేదంటే ఈ డాక్యుమెంట్స్ నాకు ఇవ్వని చెప్పి అడగొచ్చు. They can ask that question, but they cannot go beyond 3 years from the previous year. So previous years కంటే 3 years కంటే బ్యాక్ వెళ్ళకూడదు. మొత్తం ఎప్పుడో 10 ఏళ్ల కింద డేటా అని అడిగితే నా దగ్గర డాక్యుమెంట్స్ ఏం లేవు, 3 years వరకే అడగొచ్చు. సో ఎగ్జామినేషన్లో దేర్ కెన్ బి ఏ MCQ kind of a question when they are asking you to produce any accounts or documents. They can go up to maximum 3 years before prior to previous year. Next thing, prior approval of joint commissioner to be obtained for requiring assessee to furnish statement of all assets and liabilities. So ikkada enti ante they are asking you to provide just the documents. Here they are asking your balance sheet also. So for that they need a prior approval of a joint commissioner. Assessing officer వాడికి ఏదో తెల్లారగానే పొద్దుగుట్టిన ఏదో అట్లా అనిపించినట్టు they cannot simply issue a notice asking you to give a balance sheet. Okay, so they have to go with a joint commissioner prior approval to furnish in writing information on such points or matters including statement of all assets and liabilities of the assessee whether included in the accounts or not as the assessing officer may require. So assessing officer కనిపిస్తుంది ఏమనంటే మీరు ఈ పాయింట్స్ పైన నాకు ఎక్స్ప్లెనేషన్ ఇవ్వండి, లేదంటే అసెట్స్ లైబిలిటీస్ నాకు డీటెయిల్స్ ఇవ్వండి, అలాంటివి ఏమైనా మాట్లాడు. ఇప్పుడు మీరు అసెట్స్ ఏమన్నారు, హ్యావ్ ఏ ఫర్నిచర్ ఆఫ్ 10 lakh rupees అని చెప్పి చూపించుకున్నారు. ఆ ఫర్నిచర్లో ఏమేమి డిస్క్రిప్షన్ ఏంటి, క్లాస్ ఏంటి, అవి ఎక్కడున్నాయి, అలాంటి డీటెయిల్స్ కావాలి అనుకుంటే ప్రియర్ అప్రూవల్ ఆఫ్ జాయింట్ కమిషనర్ తీసుకొని దే హ్యావ్ టు ఆస్క్ యూ దట్ డీటెయిల్స్. And there is a concept called audit under section 142. So what do you mean by audit? Already మనం ఆడిట్ చేయించుకుంటాం కదా సార్, మళ్ళీ వీడు ఎందుకు కొత్తగా అడుగుతున్నాడు అంటే, వెనెవర్ ద కంపెనీ ఇస్ అ వెరీ బిగ్ కంపెనీ అండ్ దే హ్యావ్ వాల్యూమస్ ట్రాన్సాక్షన్స్, వేల కోట్ల ట్రాన్సాక్షన్స్. ఇప్పుడు గూగుల్, ఫేస్బుక్ ఆర్ యూట్యూబ్ ఆర్ ఎనీ MNCs చూసుకోండి, థౌజండ్స్ ఆఫ్ ట్రాన్సాక్షన్స్, థౌజండ్స్ ఆఫ్ ఎంప్లాయీస్, వాళ్ళకి ఎన్నెన్నో ట్రాన్సాక్షన్స్ ఉంటాయి కదా. అలాంటి టైంలో దే విల్ ఆల్రెడీ బీ గోయింగ్ అండర్ అన్ ఆడిట్. దే వుడ్ బీ గోయింగ్ అండర్ ఆడిట్ యాజ్ పర్ ఎనీ అదర్ లా. ఏ యాక్ట్ అన్న ప్రకారం వాళ్ళు ఆడిట్ చేయించుకుంటారు. కంపెనీస్ యాక్ట్ కావచ్చు, కార్పొరేట్ సొసైటీస్ యాక్ట్ కావచ్చు, లేకపోతే ఇంకేదైనా యాక్ట్ ప్రకారం దే కెన్ గో ఫర్ అన్ ఆడిట్. బట్ ఇఫ్ దే రిక్వైర్, దిస్ ఇస్ ద ఆడిట్ ఫ్రమ్ ద డిపార్ట్మెంట్. డిపార్ట్మెంట్కి ఏమంటుందంటే, నువ్వు you have appointed a chartered accountant as an auditor and is doing the audit, but I'm doubting that. Indirectly he's saying I'm doubting how well he has done it. I will only tell who to be appointed. So who should be the chartered accountant? Now it's not in the hands of the client. Ante assessee daggara ippudu choice ledu. The department is only saying it. So they will only say, okay, you get it books of accounts audited by that Mr. X. Okay, they have a panel. ఆ ప్యానల్ నుంచి ఒకరిని చెప్తాడు, మీరు ఆడిట్ చేయించుకోండి అని చెప్పి. సో యూ మైట్ ఆస్క్, సార్ సెక్షన్ ఫర్ ద గవర్నమెంట్ డిపార్ట్మెంట్, దే ఆర్ ఓన్లీ ఆస్కింగ్ యూ టు గో ఫర్ ఎన్ ఆడిట్. దెన్ వై షుడ్ ఐ మేక్ ద పేమెంట్ టు హిమ్? వై షుడ్ ఐ పే హిమ్ ద salary? బోలతో అసెసీ నీడ్ నాట్ పే ద salary టు that chartered accountant appointed by the PCC or CC. It will be paid by the central government only. Okay, when they can ask you for such a special audit is when there is a voluminous transaction. వాల్యూమ్ చాలా పెద్దగా ఉంది. డౌట్స్ అబౌట్ ద కరెక్ట్నెస్ ఆఫ్ అకౌంట్స్. నువ్వు ఆల్రెడీ P&L ప్రిపేర్ చేసావు, బ్యాలెన్స్ షీట్ ప్రిపేర్ చేసావు, బట్ సమ్వేర్ ఐఎమ్ డౌటింగ్ హౌ వెల్ యూ హావ్ డన్ ఇట్. మేబీ వీడు కరెక్ట్గా డాక్యుమెంట్స్ చూసాడా, చెకింగ్ చేశాడా, వాచింగ్ చేశాడా, దాని ఆ అనాలిసిస్, ఈ అనాలిసిస్, ఆడిటింగ్లో మనం చదువుకున్న అన్ని అనాలిసిస్ చేశాడా, స్క్రూటినీ కరెక్ట్గా చేశాడా, లెడ్జర్ స్క్రూటినీ చేశాడా, ఇవన్నీ ఫిజికల్ వెరిఫికేషన్ చేశాడా, ఓనర్షిప్ చూసాడా, జెన్యూనియన్స్ చూసాడా. I'm doubting అనుకున్నప్పుడు they can go for it. Multiplicity of transactions or special nature of the transactions or in the interest of the revenue. Interest of the revenue అంటే when these people think that he might be showing lesser profit than what it should be. That is like government is missing some revenue on that. So in a legal language they say interest of the revenue. Interest of the revenue bolata interest of the department, CBDT. So they can go for a special audit. He is of the opinion that it is necessary to do so. He may, with the prior approval of the PCC or CC or PC or C, direct the assessee to get the accounts audited by an accountant and to furnish the report on such audit. So who is asking you to go for a special audit? Assessing officer only asking. Who they are asking? They are asking the assessee only, but they will be taking the prior approval of PCC, CC or PC or C. Okay, after taking the prior approval, they will assessing officer is asking the assessee to get his books of accounts audited and furnish the report. Accountant ante chartered accountant ఇంకెవరు కాదు ఇక్కడ. స్పెషల్ ఆడిట్ టు బి కండక్టెడ్ బై ద అకౌంటెంట్ నామినేటెడ్ బై PCC, CC, PCC. ఇందాక చెప్పాను ఆ PCC, CC, PCC. యూ రిమెంబర్ లైక్ దట్. సో ఎవరు అపాయింట్ చేస్తారంటే నువ్వు కాదు. సో ఇప్పుడు నేను ఏం చేస్తాను, మా దగ్గరలో ఉన్న ఒక ఆడిటర్ని ఫిక్స్ చేసుకుంటాడు మనోడే అని చెప్పేసి, నేను చెప్పినట్టే చేస్తాడు కదా. అంటే ఆబ్వియస్లీ హీ విల్ బీ క్లోజ్ టు మీ, ఓకే, విల్ నాట్ బి డూయింగ్ ఎనీథింగ్ లైక్ he will not be giving any negative comment anywhere. If they ask me a special audit, still I'll go to someone else like any other friend, he will also listen to me only. So this time you don't appoint the auditor, let the PCCCC or PCC, they will only appoint the auditor, and the auditor will be issuing form number 6B, okay. And for that purpose, who is the client? The client is the CBDT only, PCCCC. For the special auditor, who is the client? Client is not the assessee. PCCCC is the assessee, okay. There is one case study. I don't think at inter-level they will be asking this case study kind of a question. Generally they would be submitting the report in time. They will have some specified time, right? If there is a delay on part of the assessee, there is a delay on part of assessee, like assessee is not cooperating with the special auditor, special chartered accountant, then assessing officer will come and do the best judgment assessment. 144 के हिसाब से he will be doing the best judgment assessment. But take it otherwise, assessee is ready to produce the books of accounts, but the special auditor is so lazy that he is avoiding or making it delay. So in that case, it is a problem or it is a issue with the auditor but not with the client. So you cannot go with the section 144 best judgment assessment. The case went to Supreme Court, and Supreme Court said that it is not the violation of the assessee, it is a violation of the chartered accountant, right? It should be penalized for some other section as per ICA, but for time being you appoint any other auditor within 1 month, let him do the audit bolke, that is a verdict, okay. If it is the mistake of the assessee, 144 will apply. If it is not the mistake of the assessee, then the assessing officer need to take an action to appoint any other chartered accountant as per their list. Okay, so maximum time limit is 180 days, okay. So original amount date you might fix for assuming 120 days, like you have to get this audited within 120 days. But if there is any delay because of any other reason, assessing officer can extend that time period, but the maximum of original plus extended period should not be more than 180 days. Maybe in MCQs you can expect this kind of a question, okay. Sir, who will pay to that special auditor? Central government will pay. How much they will pay? बोले तो 3,750 से 7,500 per hour. So 3,750 is a minimum you have to give it to the special auditor. 1 hour के लिए, it's not total. If he is spending 100 hours, 3,750 multiplied by 100. If it is spending 10 hours, multiplied by 10. They don't be spending 100 hours, but for an example I'm saying, multiplied by 10, like number of hours say you will be multiplying 3,750 to 7,500. That is the amount fixed by the CBDT rules, that will be decided by the department only. But whenever you are going for a special audit, whenever you are going for a special audit, you will be giving an opportunity of being heard. Whenever you are inquiring anything from the assessee, you have to give it, that is called natural justice, right? You cannot simply say that, hey, I'm doubting your books of accounts, let get it audited by someone else. Though the amount is paid by central government, it is painful for the client, right? He has to again arrange all the books of accounts, talk to them, and the auditor will come and they will set up one team. He also has to involve some people to help that client, that auditor and the team, right? So it is a painful thing. So just give them an opportunity. Why you feel that your special audit is required? If you are satisfied with their justification, you will you will not go for a special audit. But if you are like, okay, after his opinion also you feel that special audit is required, you can go it. But at least give me an opportunity of being heard. Let me talk, let me tell me the pain, okay. Just give me an opportunity why I am wrong, why I am not wrong, bolke. There should be a natural justice. And as I said that if you don't give the details as you required, or whenever you are requiring something and he is not giving the information before the assessment, or is not getting it audited by special auditor, as I said, it is not supporting the special auditor, then you will go with the 144, that is your best judgment assessment. And power to make a reference to the valuation officer, section 142A. So what do you mean by this? This is like, I am the assessing officer. Take an example. You are an assessee. You filed your return of income. There you have your P&L account, balance sheet and every detail. So if I required as per 142, I will be asking you, please give me explanation about this, please provide me this document. That is a notice I will be giving, you have to respond to it. But even after that, I'm like, somewhere the valuation is done improperly, or the asset valuation is not done correctly, or I'm doubting some transaction they have entered with the related parties. Something like, you remember 40A2, okay, something like that. In as per some section, 40A capital asset you sold off, but the valuation, stamp duty value, I'm just doubting it. So whenever I have a doubt about the valuation of any of the things that you showed in your P&L or balance sheet, any of the things, whether I'm doubting or not is a different issue. If whether I'm satisfied or not is also a different issue. I feel that it should be valued by a valuation officer as per section 142A. I have a right to ask the valuation of this by someone else. That is called valuation officer. So what valuation officer will do, whenever I make a reference to him, he will verify his own documents. Like if he's having any other documents as per CBDT, he will verify. He'll ask the information from the client, I mean the assessee, explanation from the client, something like that. He will look into the market, see what is the stamp duty value, other rates and all these things. So he will consider three factors. One, whatever he already has. One, whatever is given by the assessee. And third, what is available in the market. After verifying these three things, the valuation officer will fix a value and he will give it back to me, okay, as an assessing officer. Assuming I'm an assessing officer, you file the return of income, I'm not doubting or I'm not comfortable with some valuation that you have done. So then I will refer it to as per 142A, I'll refer it to a valuation officer. The valuation officer will take the data that is available with him plus the data that is provided by you or what is available in the market, and then he will make a valuation. That valuation he will give it to me. Then I will consider that valuation in my assessment. So he has to do it within 6 months from the end of the month in which I have made a reference. So now it is 31st March. Assuming that I am making a reference to valuation officer, end of the year 31st month, end of the month 31st March से 6 months के अंदर he has to make the he has to complete his valuation. Okay, so these are all final level things, guys, and I'm not seeing anybody is particularly interested in understanding these high level concepts. So I would be closing it for now, and let's see what are the topics that we can come up in future. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day.